What's up, Tracy? I don't know if you have a Kick account, but that's where we're going to tonight. I need to get back to where I start much earlier. Even when the mods mentioned it today. Been struggling, but I need to get back to where I started like 8 instead of 10. Let me get this posted everywhere, guys. I saw some people were able to subscribe after the stream. I'm guessing it's probably like a... Hopefully it was just a temporary glitch. We'll see. Yeah, we're going to do Kick again. Probably, we're going to try Kick this weekend. So that's today, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, we'll be back on all platforms and probably not on Kick. What we'll do is I'll come up with a different style show to do on Kick like once a week. We keep our numbers high everywhere, and we'll be there. I think it'd be awesome.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let 'em burn it.
Hopefully. It's okay, Tracy. It's just like, I don't know if you've ever been on Twitch, but it's just like Twitch, but it's called Kick. And you can go to my donation website, coldbeer.fund, and click on the green K. And to watch, you don't even need an account. You can just click it, and it'll open it up. I'm kicking it with you. You're kicking it with me. And won't go to the desktop version on Chrome. Oh, so what you have to do is, I'll show you in just a second. But what you want to do is open Chrome, not on Kick, just like open Google. And in the top right-hand corner, there's 3 dots. Click those. That'll open a menu. And you want to select a box that says Show Desktop Site. Check that box. Then close that menu. Then go to kick.com. How can Will even kick it without legs? That's what I'm wondering. We're happening with Shelly. We're tagging in with Shelly Belly here. I don't know if you heard me, Trey, but that's what I would try. So what happened is the first time, the first time you went to the app, it selected that. Here's another thing you can do. Hit those 3 dots in the top right-hand corner and hit a new incognito window. What happened is the first time that you typed in a Kick thing, it said open in the app, and you probably hit yes, and it saved that, so it always does it. That's right, the wash machine accident. But if you're in an incognito window, it shouldn't open the app, hopefully. I like Kick so far, so we're going to try it this week. Or, I'm sorry, this weekend. Tomorrow's Mariah's birthday, but she said we weren't doing nothing that night because she worked that day and probably Sunday too. So I'm still going to stream tomorrow. That'll be on Kick, and Sunday I'll be on Kick. And then Monday we'll go back to our normal routine. I just want to give it a little bit more of a try because I know some people had some issues. We're trying to work through those. For the first 20, 30 minutes, we'll be on all platforms. That'll give people a chance to talk and figure out or whatever.
Bag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the...
You never noticed it was me? Yeah, this is like a camera. I used to have it angled a little bit more to where you could kind of see my beard and stuff. It's a cool filter on the camera, though, I think. Like, obviously, I'm live right now.
Okay, Scott.
I want to add a third camera. So if I'm ever doing anything technical, which I'm sure there's like, I've rebuilt cell phones, I built drones and 3D printers and stuff on stream before. If I'm ever doing anything technical, one cool thing I could do is I could have all three cameras on, and then the chat can decide which camera to switch to. I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool. So anyways, let's get this started. Let's roll the intro.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I am Will Bird, and this is the Cold Beer Confessional. We're trying out on Kick today. I just saw someone say it's hard for me, or they can't use Kick on Chromecast. You should be able to. You won't be able to open it like an app through Chromecast, but you should be able to mirror screen. So if you open it on your phone and you're watching, you hit the Chromecast mirror screen, and it'll just play your phone screen on the TV. Either way, at extreme angles. That's a throwback, Rolo. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Bird. This is the Cold Beer Confessional on Kick. We're everywhere right now, but we're going to shut those down and we'll be on Kick here in a little bit. Kick only. And then the replay will be up on YouTube if you really don't want to come to Kick. But we are trying it. It seems to be doing pretty well. I like it so far. There are some issues with when you can subscribe and when you can't. Like some people who couldn't subscribe last night suddenly went today and they subscribe. I don't know if that's just like a glitch when there's a lot of people on, maybe. But yeah, there was some people that got to subscribe today while I was offline that couldn't subscribe last night. So we did hit our goal. Thank you very much for that. Oh, you guys can't even hear it. I was clapping. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. But it seems like Kick is working decently. I like Kick, not only because they put the streamers first. They're funded separately from the streamers and ads. So I'm not going to lie with you. They're funded by like a gambling website. If that is like the hill that you die on is gambling, then I guess you can't watch me on Kick. But they've been putting the streamers first. So right now, when I go to Twitch, if you subscribe for $5, Twitch makes $2.50, I make $2.50. So it's 50-50 split. On Kick, if you subscribe for $5, they give me all of it. They give me all of it, which is pretty fucking amazing, I think. They don't have the copyright restrictions other places do right now. They don't have DMCA takedowns. They don't have strikes. They don't have that stuff going on. And we'll still moderate our chat the same way. Like, I don't want any slurs or any crazy stuff like that. But they're really a lot more laxed on if you say something about the election or this or that, stuff that other platforms have been banning. Now, I'm not going to say that's not going to change. It seems like every platform is free speech until they start getting ads, and then ads won't show up, and payment processors won't show up, and then they pull those things back. But right now, it's kind of like the Wild West. But we'll still moderate the same way we always do. We don't do medical information. We don't do any hateful bullshit, right? You're not going to come in here and use a bunch of racist slurs. We'll just ban you. But it seems to be doing pretty well. I like it so far. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And some of the issues we're going to try to work through over this weekend. Some people have been able to subscribe easily. Other people have been saying that it was unavailable to subscribe. But we'll work through those. You can also gift subs now if that's your thing. I put a comment in Telegram. I'm not asking people to gift subs, but if that's your thing, you can do it. I told everybody not to gift subs before because it was I was trying to get to 20 subs without any gifted subs because that's part of their to be a partner. You have to make it to that whatever. Anyways, we're here. We're going to talk about Shelly tonight. We're on all platforms right now, which includes YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Kick, Rumble. But after about 20, 30 minutes, we'll be pulling down all the streams except for Kick live stream. And then there'll be a replay on YouTube tomorrow. But yeah, it should work. A lot of people have to go to, have to open it. Oh, a couple things. So if you go to it on, if you have an Android phone or an iPhone, if you're watching on your phone, if you go to kick.com/coldbeerconfessional with your browser, not the app. Now, some people have been saying every time they type it in, it opens the app anyways. Yeah, that's a setting. Like, it's same with YouTube. Like, when the first time it does it, it says you want to open this with the app. If you click yes, it saves it and always does it. You should be able to go to like an incognito tab, or by clicking the three dots in the top right-hand corner on Chrome, or you'll be able to do an incognito tab, or check the box that says open as desktop site. Those two things might help you. I know a lot of people have been having problems, but they were able to work through them. It seems like it's not the easiest thing to subscribe from the app, but it works better when you're on the website for whatever reason. So, anyways, thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Bird. This is Cold Beer Confessional. That was Linda Benda with our intro. You can find her on Cameo. You can find her on Twitch and TikTok. She hasn't been doing a whole lot of updates lately. I don't know if she's banned or she just hasn't been doing updates. But last time we talked about Linda Benda, she was doing an update on Jupiter. Jupiter, the guy that she interacted with, and he ended up being a pedo. So we'll see how all that works out. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. I'm signed in with Google rather than a new account. Oh, you just signed in with Google. I got you. Anyways, guys, thank you all for joining us. We got a couple things to go over tonight. One thing, since we're talking about the Neg48 cults, I have a new Neg48 video. We are going to listen to Shelly did a whole description of her time in jail and all the signs from God and all that stuff. I can go to it if there is a link in chat. Well, they've been posting a link in chat over and over again. You can either go to coldbeer.fund, coldbeer.fund, and click on the K, or they'll post in a direct link to the kick.com/coldbeerconfessional. So we got a couple of videos to go over first, but we do have a new Neg48 video that I've never seen before. Rob P actually sent it to me, and I've never even heard of this, and apparently it's a big thing. But before we get started, I grabbed some TikTok videos that I thought would be interested, so let's see what we got. We will be doing Shelly's fucking full-length time in prison or whatever she did. It's pretty wild. She thinks God sent her there, and there was thunderstorms, so she equates that to the Bible story where they were in prison and an earthquake happened and all the jail cells opened. Like, it's pretty wild. I go ahead and warn you. But that's just Shelly. If you want to contribute to the show, the way you do that is go to coldbeer.fund. That's the website I have up behind me where I'm bouncing out of this nice young Asian gentleman's butthole. From there, you can find all my links, including Twitch. Kick is the green K. That's actually not the right one. That's for Kickstarter, but they didn't have a Kick one, and it's close enough. So Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, Facebook, TikTok, Rumble, Discord, and Bovada. Bovada is an affiliate link. That's the website I gamble on sometimes when you guys watch me on TikTok or whatever. Anyways, there's also links to contribute to the show. That's Buy Me a Coffee if you want to send a text-based donation. You can join our Patreon for extra content. Oh, Gypsy Daisy just subscribed. You can use the old donation link for the Gum and Bomber, or you can send Dono Clip. Dono Clip is actually pretty cool because you can send an audio or video message directly to me, just like this one. This is a video one from Mort.
Hey Derek, it's me. I'm stuck here with no means for escape. No means. I've got nothing around that I can help myself escape, and it's driving me insane, and I can't.
I like the cowboy hat hanging there. We can tell you're a Derek Johnson fan. Anyways, Anyways, thank you very much, guys, again for joining us. Let me grab these first couple videos. Sorry, I was reading a message there. Let me grab these first couple videos. Let's see what this one is first. If you want to contribute to the show, that's how you do it. Coldbeer.fund.
If your wife won't give you a tongue.
I just thought this guy was funny. It says prostitutes, British prostitutes in the 1800s. I just thought it was a funny video.
If your wife won't give you a tongue, I'm the girl for you. My name's Gert. I'm the most beautiful girl in Portsmouth. £5 for a night with me, I am. Look at what I've got. It's a whole ankle. Never seen that before on a woman. They're building a new naval base. Cha-ching. The lads call me horrible names. Scrumpet. Fanny Bumbler, Toe Tickler. Yep, I gave the whole British cavalry. That's why we lost the first Boer War. Are you Jack the Ripper? Promise? Don't murder me. Oh, I got it.
I just thought this was funny. It was pretty good. I don't even know who this guy is. I'll tell you, is Kyle Gordon is great. That was a pretty funny skit. Prostitutes, Jesus Christ. I hate how this won't stay on dark mode. I don't look at websites unless they have dark mode available. Let's see if he's got another video. At least one we can watch, because this has 2.6 million views. This has got to be good.
It never die. Women are my favorite guys. Sex, I'm wanting more. Tell the world, stop the war. Boom, hear the bass go zoom. Have a party, feel the groove. System overload. Everybody move, man.
What the fuck is this? Every TikToker with a little bit of clout is making like parody songs, I guess, like comedy songs. Where's the K to click on Twitch? There isn't a K to click on Twitch. I have a website called coldbeer.fund. If you go to that website, there's a bright green K right there. That's where the K's at. I don't know what's going on. There's aliens and everything. It looks like he's been advertising his song for a while, which is the way to make it go viral.
All right, you can bring it on this time, but don't do it again. Are you a terrorist? Do you promise? Okay.
Dude, flying on an airplane before 2001 was wild. It's crazy we didn't have a large-scale terrorist attack before 9/11. I mean, it was just wild.
For me, he's got a bomb! I'm just kidding. Just joking around, everybody. We like to have fun. We got state-of-the-art security technology.
We will not be on Twitch. We are showing the first 20, 30, maybe 40 minutes of the show on all platforms. I will only be on kick.com/coldbeerconfessional.
We got a metal detector and me. So you mean to tell me that one of your dreams is about to board a plane, move across the country, and this is your last chance?
Yeah, also, I guess that's what he was going to allude to there, but like you didn't even need a ticket to get past security and shit. Like you could go all the way with like your family that was departing. You could literally sit in the lobby and wait for them to call for the shit. Like that's, I don't know, that's crazy as well.
This is your last chance to confess your love to her? All right, go on through. Go get him, kid. Is that a gun?
Jesus Christ. So he makes funny videos. His name is Kyle Gordon, is great. But that's not the one I'm interested in showing you. I'm actually pretty excited to show you somebody else. So you know how we've covered the Jose Monkey, who is the guy who takes a video and he tells you where it was filmed at? Like he breaks it down through, I moved home from college on 9/18. I got to the airport 4 hours early and had my ID randomly checked like 4 times. No shit. There is Jose Monkey, where you take a video and you say, "Find me, Jose Monkey." There is Not Con, or Con Jr. She's the woman who you say, "I bet you can't find my birthday," and she finds your birthday. I have found the pinnacle of these research TikTokers. The absolute pinnacle. The best of the best that I don't think anybody will ever surpass this, okay? This lady, Shay.Nanigans87, Is that right? Shay.nanigans87 finds your toilets. I swear to God, she finds where you shit.
Guess what? I just hit 2. If I could show your toilet, you'll be freaked out. Honey, freaked out is what I do. Your profile gave me absolutely no clues other than your profile picture, which I studied for a little
What's up,
bit
Vern?
and hopped over to Facebook to look for somebody with your name, but there was so many of you that I had to look through all of them to try to match your face. That's when I stumbled on this profile. I know your hair color was different, but the eyebrows, the hairline, the earrings, the lips, all of that was the same as this picture from TikTok.
Uh-oh.
Then you posted this achievement from your son, and I got the city out.
Oh, no.
By looking up the school. And I knew you had a single wide tan trailer with black shutters and an
Oh, no.
front in that
I have a very particular set of skills.
town and with a front porch here. That's when I found this on the maps.
Oh, no.
So I went
Oh,
to the tax
no.
record, looked it up.
Oh,
Only
God.
under your name. So
She found her single wide.
let me show you where you poop.
Holy shit! She got her toilet. She got her toilet. I've been blessed with a very particular set of skills. This is
Stay safe. If I can show your
this is demonic. It's demonic. She can find your shitter.
We have a new victim. Someone doesn't want to work tomorrow. Just kidding. And of course, I'm going to tag you. I'm going to toe tag you, baby. Get it? I got your state off of your daughter's sash here. Then you made this post, and your friend Jess said, love you, babe. So I went to her profile, and that's when I was able to find her Facebook with her name and the same photo. Then I went to her likes on her profile picture. There you were.
Uh-oh.
So I went to your profile, and guess what was on your profile picture? Is that
Oh, no.
a partial number on a mailbox?
Damn it.
I got the city by looking up your son's football team here. I knew it was a brick house from this post, and you had a round swimming pool from this post.
Oh, no.
And I
She's
knew you
going to
had a
find this
detached
lady's shitter.
garage from this post. Thought you might be renovating by looking in the closet here with the
The only way that she couldn't do this, I guess, is if you didn't have, obviously if she couldn't find your house, but if it'd have to be brand new construction, because if it's ever been listed, then if it's ever been listed and sold, then there's a picture of the bathroom.
paint and the no baseboards. So I hopped over to Zillow and looked for a house like that.
And I found this.
It was
Oh, God.
Just look at that.
Oh, God.
The mailbox on the door.
I found
next to
this.
The door, and the aerial view showed me that it had a pool. And look at the detached garage. And then this closet matched a video you posted of your kids here. You kept the mirror. So this is where you poop.
God damn, dude.
Stay safe.
This is a brand new gift. This is something that Legend or Pretzel would put on a spreadsheet for sure.
You want to know what the cool thing about having... Wow, I'm bored. Am I bored enough to zoom in on your glasses so that I can get the street sign with the city? Look for this nearby farm by going to the aerial view in that town. Finding that place. Looking around there until I found a backyard that matched your video of your backyard.
Oh, no.
Putting a nice, wet, steamy morning fart into a Ziploc.
Hey, things turned weird.
Sealing it up with my mouth so that I can still hold the phone with the other hand. Look at that steam. Realizing that you might like that, so trashing that. Going outside.
What the fuck?
And finding some spider eggs. Maybe placing those in something else into an envelope and sending it off to your address. No.
She melded spider eggs and dog shit?
No. Wow, I'm bored. She says, how? How was it so easy for me to find that she poops here? Let me show you. It was this post where you tagged your state, and then when you made this video outside of the Kroger next to a Starbucks, I found that exact location. So now I know your city. Then when you made this video outside of your house, I could see that across the street.
Subscribed for 7 months.
Thank you for subscribing on Twitch. I appreciate it. We're getting ready to go to Kick Only, but thank you for subscribing on Twitch. We'll be back on Twitch on
Your
Monday.
neighbor had a 3-car garage. So I went to Zillow. I selected the buy option. Then I eliminated everything but houses. Clicked on sold properties, taking a stab here. Clicked must have garage, and then I went down to the keywords and typed 3-car garage. Of course, the realtor would put that in there. It gave me like 100 listings, and I just scrolled through them until one of them matched. This one. And there's a street view, so I hopped over to it. Turned around. Look at that truck. It was the same truck from across the street in your video.
Oh,
so
no.
Here's the Zillow listing where I realized I left the decomposing cans out. Stay safe.
Jesus Christ.
Guys, it's embarrassing the lengths I will go for $40. Looking up your lender ID number gave me what city and state you work out of, and I knew you had a 2-story house from this post, custom cabinets from this post behind your husband, and you had granite countertops from this post about your coffee. And I did finally found a house that matched. The inside pictures from Zillow showed it was 2 stories with the same railing from this post that you had posted. It also had the custom cabinets that you can see behind your husband here. And of course, it had the
Jesus
granite countertops
Christ.
that matched perfectly to
She's
this
a
post that I
psycho,
showed you a minute
dude.
ago. And
Like
just
every
to go
ex-girlfriend
further, you
ever.
posted this video with your child outside swinging, and you can see the paved patio and the fence, and it matched the Zillow outside picture as well. And the chandelier behind you in this picture that you posted matched perfectly to the interior as well. And just to keep going, look behind you here, you see some hanging pots, and that was in the kitchen. Then behind your daughter here, there's a window between 2 cabinets. That was also shown.
Probably bug, dude.
Stay safe.
I don't know what the shit is at the end.
Oh, you
She's
just
like biting at
purchased
the
a new
camera.
house? Looking at your profile, all of your videos were old, so I had no choice but to go to your followers, and one of the very first ones had her full name. So, of course, I went to her profile, and I was easily able to find her Facebook, which matched the photo. Clicking on her friends and typing the first 3 letters of your name gave me the same picture as your TikTok profile. And your first post said you had a new home, and guess what? You tagged your realtor and your husband.
You would have to have it, yeah, you would have to have it custom built, because even if it's a brand new home, if it's on the market, you would have to have it like a custom builder build you your home, to not have the pictures of your shitter on the fucking internet.
Just a house, you said. So I just hopped on over to your realtor's page, got her name, typed it into that state's licensing portal, got the place that she works, looked up her recently sold houses, and found this one. Luckily, you had just posted this video of your driveway with your husband working on a boat, and from the aerial view, I can see the boat here on the right. So let's see where you poop.
No, no, no. That's what the caption said.
Oh.
When she was whistling, it said, no, no, no.
Your head was in that freezer. If you're looking for it. Oh, that's where you pooped. Your new pooper. Thank you so much for playing. Stay safe.
So she is Shay.nanigans. Shay.nanigans 87. I'll share her link. I think I got it. No, I just clicked on it. Let me grab it here. If you want to follow her on TikTok, there she is. We're going to watch. So here's what's up. We're doing a Kick exclusive stream tonight. I know that I'm live everywhere, but we're doing a Kick exclusive stream tonight. So here's what's up. There's a brand new thing about Neg48 that I didn't know. I guess it's not even new. Rob P sent me this video, and I didn't know this about Neg48. Maybe you guys did. I didn't know this person, never heard of her, never anything. We're going to watch that, and then after that's over, we're going to go to Kick Only. So if you're watching anywhere else, come to Kick or wait for the YouTube replay tomorrow. But if you want to come to Kick, you're more than welcome. If you need the link, the mods will drop it in the chat. Let me see if I can find this video. I had no idea this person existed around Neg48. Let's see. I'll just click it. Copying it. Hold on. So this is someone that's associated with Neg48, which I guess we don't cover him super in depth. You know, we got like Scott McKay, Scott Rogers, Phil Godlewski, Derek Johnson. I mean, I've covered Negative 48. I was one of the first people to figure out who he really was and his son, and put like his, you know, where he used to work, his wife, his ex-wife, all that stuff out there back in the day. But I never knew this person was associated with Negative 48, or that he trained a child apparently as his protege before he died. So he died in a motorcycle accident, a dirt bike accident, back a few weeks ago. I think they waited, like the group waited like 20 days to say he was dead, but he was in the hospital with like a brain bleed for a little bit. But he trained a protege, a 13-year-old girl as his protege apparently before he died.
It is almost 12:29.
Waiting on JFK. Look out.
The big reveal.
Let's play Spot the Shelly.
Crowd is big.
I'm just kidding. I bet you at least 30% of these women's names are Shelly.
Ready to go.
You just watched footage captured by journalist Steve Monticelli.
By the way, this channel is the Humanist Report. The Humanist Report, THR.
In November of 2021, and that large crowd that you saw was comprised of QAnon cult followers who gathered in Dallas, Texas to witness the return of JFK Jr., who would then announce a joint 2024 presidential run with Donald Trump and reveal that he's been alive this whole time. However, he never showed up because, to the chagrin of these idiots, he actually did die all the way back in 1999. But the individual responsible for that particular lie is QAnon leader Michael Protzman, and as Vice News reports, when his prophecy didn't happen, Protzman's conspiracy simply changed, and over the next 18 months, he would alter and change his predictions to suit his needs and keep his followers on board. Ultimately, he claimed that he was in direct contact with former President Donald Trump, and that Trump was in fact JFK Jr. in disguise. Sounds legit.
So he basically changed from, and a lot of people believe he's JFK Jr. One of the things people are debating right now is if a lot of people say that Trump's going to pick a woman. Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks it's going to be her. That sounds terrifying. Marjorie Taylor Greene ever being fucking president. Holy shit. Especially as old as like Donald Trump is. She one very faint and weak heartbeat away from being president. But, he went. A lot of people are saying that Robert Kennedy is going to be Trump's running mate, and a lot of other people are saying it's got to be a woman because he doesn't do well with women voters. So he's thinking a woman might help him. I don't know. But as far as the Kennedy conspiracy, a lot of people think that Negative 48 is JFK. That's what Shelly thinks. Some people think that Donald Trump. Apparently, Negative 48 at one time said Donald Trump was JFK in disguise at some of his rallies, but not all of them. I don't know.
Now, that individual, Michael Protzman, who spread that lie and continued to lie, died. Vaccine? No, but seriously, he died. He died on June 30th in a motocross accident.
Great
and
American
his followers
patriot.
are taking it about as well as you'd expect. Vice News reports Shelly Mullinex, who was one of Protzman's earliest followers but had a
Shelly Mullinex gets credit here, gets a mention.
Falling out with him and other members of the group last year, remains convinced of the conspiracies Protzman concocted about JFK. She believes his death is all part of the plan. If that was the plan that God had for him, I know that everything is going to be revealed.
That's right, Jim from Florida. He's the good JFK Jr. The evil JFK Jr. is the one who crashed the bike.
But soon, Mullinex told
his evil twin
Vice News on Wednesday. Mullinex said that in recent days, someone in her group claimed Protzman was taken out, but she dismissed that. She doesn't want any conspiracy theories, folks. She did, however, claim that the
Mullinex said in recent days that someone in her group claimed that Protzman was taken out, but she dismissed that. So this is a message that she got a text message saying, we took him out. We took care of MBP. She dismissed that, but now she's fully on board with that. She even so much so that she knows it was me that was trolling her through those text messages, and she's still using them as evidence that fucking, I don't know, that a demon's after her or some shit.
Person who died was in fact one version of Michael Protzman, the evil version, and that the good Michael Protzman, who was in fact JFK Jr. in a mask, is still alive and well.
So the evil one. Now, when Negative 48's arrest record came out and found out basically that he likes to steal cars back in the 80s and early 90s, she said, oh, this makes sense because that's the evil one. But we're talking about JFK Jr. in a mask.
Well, holy shit. Vice News spoke to several family members of Protzman's followers, and all said that their loved ones have dismissed the news of Protzman's death as fake in another Telegram channel populated with
basically all at this time. Now they know. Now they think they can see that it's real, or that he has disappeared with a fake death, I guess. But at the time, they didn't announce it on his Telegram channel. It was just in the news. They all believed it was bullshit. Like, they waited for the Telegram channel to announce it, like, I don't know, it's like 20 days after he actually died.
Protzman's followers. One admin wrote that they would be removing all posts regarding his death until we have absolute verification.
And domestic
so
violence,
as you
you're
can see,
right.
they had some very normal reactions to his death. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but here's your verification. It's the death certificate. He's gone. Don't shoot the messenger.
They claimed that the death certificate wasn't filled out enough, that there wasn't enough information on it, that it was pretty sparse in its details, so it wasn't real.
He died. It's real. Now, I know that they're just going to say it's fake, but perhaps maybe that will give some of them some closure. But the reason why we're talking about this is not to discuss Protzman or his legacy, but really what happened after he died. And it's only been a little more than a month, but his death created this power vacuum, and one individual stepped up and tried to encourage his followers to follow them instead.
Imagine if Phil just dropped dead suddenly. They would claim that it was fake. They would claim that Trump called him up. They would claim that he went back into the NSA, Edward Snowden, blah, 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 whatever. But there would also be a huge power vacuum, and there would definitely be people trying to capitalize on that, whether it be Kerry or some of his moderators or fucking Andy. I don't know. There would be people trying to capitalize on that.
But it doesn't necessarily seem like they are taking to that particular person. But unbeknownst to a lot of these individuals who want to be the new leader, well, before his death, he actually trained a successor. And that individual has since stepped up to take his place, and his new followers, or his old followers, I should say, have been receptive to this new leader. And that's troubling because this new leader is literally a 13-year-old girl named Tiny Teflon. And as Vice News reports, according to multiple live chats on Telegram reviewed by
I don't know if that's an actual picture of her, but damn.
By Vice News, Protzman appears to have groomed the girl as his protege, hosting her on his live chats on Telegram.
I'm assuming it's not. It's probably like a meme picture or something, I'm assuming. With the hat edited on her head. Like, surely that's not her. Surely, they probably wouldn't show a picture of a minor.
Where he had tens of thousands of followers. As a sign of her growing position within the group, Tiny Teflon was made an administrator of Protzman's main Telegram channel.
So her name is Tiny Teflon. She was made an administrator of the, before he died. And she started her own group where she does her own 13-year-old decodes. Her mom got her involved in this. Her name is Teflon Dawn on Telegram. So, of course, her daughter, her 13-year-old daughter, become Tiny Teflon. And apparently she was trained in the ways of using discernment, I guess.
Though she posted very little over the last 6 months. However, since his death, the teenager has reemerged as a leading voice in the group. In late July, she showed up at a Trump rally in Erie, Pennsylvania, where she was photographed with multiple members of the JFK group. Then she began to post again in the Neg48 channel, as well as posting her decodes on August 1st. She shared a link to her new channel called ABC123. The channel's description says,
how weird is it that she's a 13-year-old girl and a child, and her channel name is ABC123? Like, I understand that ABC123 is gematria, but that's also like easy as ABC123, kids and blocks. Like, is this some type of weird fetish that they're following a child?
It will contain Tiny Teflon's decodes, research, and much more. And in all caps adds channel monitored by adult. The description doesn't mention who the adult.
They put channel monitored by an adult because I think they were afraid that since she's just 13 that somebody would shut it down, Telegram or some shit. I don't think Telegram gives a fuck, but
it is likely her mother, a Protzman devotee who has an account on Telegram as Teflon Dawn. Using this account, she has promoted her daughter's work, as well as celebrating her birthday with a message posted in the main Neg48 channel last year. During one live chat, Tiny Teflon went into more detail about how she would use her position to recruit more children into the cult. Great. Now,
so during a live stream, she said that, they were talking about, well, you're trained up, you're going to be the leader or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I think I can get more kids into it.
We're going to pause right there because it's one thing to make fun of the adults who believe this silly conspiracy. But when I see...
And it's, again, I don't think it's not her fault at all. A 13-year-old kid, like Liam's 13, and I am his reality. Like, I could convince him of anything. If I just told him enough and told him not to listen to his teachers or anybody else, I'm sure he would believe me. He would probably even, argue with his friends over it.
See a child engage in this and participate in this, I just feel profound sadness for them. This 13-year-old girl is absolutely blameless, but her mother should feel terrible for brainwashing her daughter into this unhinged political cult.
we're going to see some type of weird special, Dateline special about Tiny Teflon in like 10 years when she's 23. She's coming forward and talked about how she's been brainwashed and this, that. If they make it that long, they could be a doomsday cult. Who knows?
But she doesn't view it that way, right? As outsiders, we can see that this is her brainwashing her child and getting her to participate in a cult, but she sees this as her daughter just being brought into what she believes is the truth and the truest thing that she's ever encountered. And what makes matters even worse is that the adults who followed Protzman, as I referenced earlier, well, they're now following this child and they're encouraging her to be.
She'll probably have to use that John doll during the investigation when they're like, where did Michael Bion Protzman touch you? And she's like, the head, he brainwashed me.
The new QAnon leader in place of Protzman. Vice continues, at the end of the chat, one of the listeners effusively praised Tiny Teflon. Quote, I think you inspire many, many adults and children, so thank you very much. We appreciate you, love you so much, said one. Another added, it was a pleasure listening to you, and I hope my little girl can start listening to you and go from there. One listener responded to Tiny's plan about including more children, saying, I think that's awesome because my daughter will be watching you, so I'm sure we'll be following you. Seconds later, her daughter also spoke on the live chat. Thank you, you did so good stuff, and I definitely can't wait to hear more of you, the girl said. Yeah, so this is fucked up on.
They're having their kids come on and listen to this 13-year-old girl do the decodes and breakdowns and shit. This is wild.
So many levels. I mean, these kids are going to deal with lifelong trauma when they never.
All right, guys, if you're following on any other platform, we're going to go into Shelly's jail video in just a second. If you're following on any of the other platforms, I'm going to shut them down. Please come to Kick or watch the replay on YouTube tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining us on whatever platform you're on. But it has come time to shut them down. So come join us on kick.com/coldbeerconfessional. You can download the Kick app. You can go there on your browser. If you don't have an account, you can still watch. But that's where we're going to. So thank you guys for joining us. And let me hop off here. Let's see. I need to turn off Twitch. Boom. I need to turn off Rumble. Done. I need to turn off Facebook. Done. And then the YouTube video, I need to go change and make it private. Give me just a second to get that worked out. That way I can post the replay tomorrow. I hope you guys are liking Kick. I think it's been fun so far. A lot like Twitch, obviously, because they basically bought the rights to do that from Amazon. But it's been pretty fun. Let's see. YouTube is going private. Save. And boom, we're back in it. The replay will be on YouTube tomorrow.
Inevitably escape this cult, and I feel really bad for them. And I also feel bad for the family members of these cult members because this cult has ruined lives. Like, as much as we make fun of the QAnon adherents and talk about how silly the things that they believe are, the sad part is that the people around them, I mean, they've been abandoned, right? These people abandoned their families, they've emptied out their bank accounts, all in pursuit of this cult, and now they are following a literal child in pursuit of what they believe.
I kind of like his logo, where it's a T, an H, and an R. I thought it was just TR, but I see the H now.
To be the truth, where they look at movies and pop culture and they try to decode it to get messages and create these prophecies. It's bizarre, but it's not a new phenomenon, and QAnon has been around since 2017. But yeah,
there are some strange streamers. Actually, in your settings, if you don't like, so there's two things that people complained about a lot on Twitch, which was like booby streamers, hot tub streamers, whatever, the thirst trap streamers, and gambling. You can actually go into your settings, your user settings, and you can select a box to where it won't show you gambling streams. It won't show you hot tub streams.
Researcher David Gilbert explains how their popularity exploded, and spoiler alert, the pandemic had a lot to do with it.
Everyone gets to be the hero, decoding all the new Q drops and comparing notes with their new Q friends.
It kind of creates this community effect among believers.
They kind of rebranded during the pandemic as well to the Save the Children thing. And apparently that went over well with more people, or went over better with more people, I guess. The Save the Children shit.
And that's why the pandemic was so key, is because people were stuck at home. They couldn't meet people. So they were on Facebook meeting in all these groups of like-minded people. And they felt, oh, QAnon is this.
Has anybody seen Mariah? I called her before the stream started. I'm going to have to call her back. She must have fell asleep. You all can watch this one.
Community, and they all solve the clues together, and they're in on a secret that no one else knows about.
It sort of reminds me of like the Da Vinci Code or National Treasure, or these adventure movies where protagonists are able to see beyond, I guess, the like veil of reality to see clues and piece together something that everyone else wants to suppress.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's how it has been structured by whoever is behind it, because they know that people are, people want, I guess, excitement in their lives, for want of a better word. So if they think that they're seeing beyond like what everyone else is seeing, that's exciting. They're in on the secret.
So when you combine the thrill of discovering the truth with a real sense of community, community and you start to make friendships, then I mean, you understand why Q cultists become so entrenched in this cult. It's like they're solving puzzles together, or doing some sort of an escape room together, right? So it's sad, and it's still going on, right? It doesn't matter that prophecy after prophecy did not come to.
Sorry, my alert that my mic was muted was going off like crazy, but yeah, they decode everything. And like I said, the rebrand through Save the Kids got more people involved, and it's like it's a buildup, right? No one comes to you first thing and says, you know, Joe Biden's fake. There's underground baby farms. They're all drinking adrenochrome. Blah, blah, blah. They usually start with something like, did you know 800,000 kids a year go missing? Shit like that.
Fruition. They still believe it, right? Because this has become a lifestyle to them. And so it doesn't matter if somebody makes a prediction based on the things that they've decoded and that doesn't bear out. What matters is that this is giving them a sense of identity and purpose. And because of that, it makes it that much more difficult to want to leave in the first place. Because if this is all you have, if you've driven away your family and this is your life, then you really have no incentive to leave. And it's just, you're kind of stuck in this hole that you've dug for yourself, and getting out is impossible, and you don't want to get out. So, I mean, yeah, what else can you say? QAnon is still around, and at least one prominent subsection of this cult is now led by a 13-year-old child. Lord help us.
Like everywhere there's glamour.
A 13-year-old child. That is wild. Now, we won't hear much about that. I'm assuming Shelly doesn't buy into that, because I probably covered Shelly more than I've covered Neg48, at least in the last year. I covered Neg48 when he first popped up. We talked about him a few times, and when he was on Scott McKay's shit, we talked about him and all the crazy stuff that they come out with. So we won't hear much about that with Shelly because she doesn't believe in it. But we will go grab a couple things. Let's see. Read all the above whenever you want. I will show you one little Phil snippet. You remember our boy Hefe? Our boy Hefe had just sent El Jefe had just sent Phil a. So Phil emails Pebbles and says, give it up. You know, you don't want this. Do you have the money? Do you have this? Do you have that? You can't keep up with me. Neither one of us are going to get paid, just the lawyers. Which is a very weird statement, because typically Phil's like, I'm going to take everything. I'm going to make tons of money. This is a $10 million lawsuit. I'm going to sue Bree, take everything she's got, every dollar she makes. Jeanette Geary, even if she doesn't have anything, every dollar she makes from now on, I'm going to get, part of that, blah, 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 blah. But in his last message, he said, neither one of us will get paid, just the lawyers. Well, he responded to, I got some more paperwork. But the only one I'm giving away tonight is probably the best one, to be honest with you. And it is this one. What's up, me and you two? It is this bad boy right here. You have to follow. I've got followers only chat. You have to be a follower to chat, by the way. If you just make an account and don't follow, you can't chat. It takes 1 minute. Follow for 1 minute. That's the lowest I could put it. So he emails Jefe back, El Jefe. He emails him back and says, Jeff. That's a good way to start it. Jeff, I am well aware how lawsuits work. We will be requesting plenty of discovery from your client. I am not interested in depositions at this time. So no, we cannot schedule any. Oh, you will hear from my attorney soon on that matter. We are filing an anti-slap lawsuit against your client's frivolous lawsuit. Anti-slap lawsuit against Pebbles. Pebbles, who has no platform. Pebbles, who has no way to shut down Phil. Pebbles has no way to encourage people to shame. Like, anti-slap started out against the government. Like, the government couldn't restrict your freedom of speech because you were saying, like, basically the government couldn't come after you if you were protesting cops, or you're protesting a new development, or you're protesting a new road being widened, or a house being bought, because governments were leaning in heavy and governments have the power. Now, a lot of states have expanded that to basically public figures, right? California is a big one because all these celebrities. If all these celebrities put all their money and power together, and we're like, oh, the paparazzi can't cover me, that would be a bad deal, obviously. So anti-slap, basically what it does is it stops everything. It stops discovery. It stops deposition. Whatever your point out, you're in the trial. When you file an anti-slap, everything stops. And the judge looks at it and says, is this person throwing their weight around basically to inhibit someone's free speech? So are they basically what Phil does, where he's like, I got more money than you. I can sue longer than you. I can pay more lawyers than you. My lawyers will be better. You can't say anything about me. That's what the slap is. An anti-slap is to stop that. An anti-slap, just refresh. Someone tell Q idiot to refresh. An anti-slap is to stop that. It is to stop someone from abusing their power and stopping your free speech. The California anti-slap was enacted by the state legislature almost 20 years ago to protect the petition and free speech rights of all Californians. Amendments have been made since that time to improve the law and provide stronger protection for meritless. So if you're just suing to get somebody to shut up, meritless lawsuits to anyone who is slapped, SLAPPED, in California. California's anti-slap statute provides for a special motion to strike a complaint where the complaint arises from activity exercising the rights of petition and free speech. The statute was first enacted in 1992. Now, Phil's going to have a tough time proving that free speech when he puts a here we come, and he puts a pointing emoji and a bomb emoji and a sunglasses emoji and then shares her shit and then goes on to say, look, it looks like she shut down her Google reviews, but her Facebook's open. This place is open. That place is open. Don't you think you should leave a review? I know I will. That doesn't seem like just his freedom of speech. He's directing people to do something. The statute was first enacted in 1992. The statute was enacted to correct abuse of the anti-slap statute. It prohibits anti-slap motions in response to public interest litigation when certain conditions are met. Certain actions against a business that arises from commercial statements or conduct of the business. Now, Phil, as much as he is a public figure, Phil's also a business. Certain actions against a business, Pebble's business, that arise from commercial statements or conduct of the business. She has a commercial page that has a statement that says this is the fucking we are this salon, and Phil abused that and told his followers to abuse it. The statute was enacted primarily to facilitate the recovery of slap victims of their damages. These are all the different laws that go along with slap. Through a slap back malicious prosecution act against the slap filers and their attorneys after the underlying slap has been dismissed. It provides that the prevailing defendant, attorney fee, and immediate appeal provisions of the anti-slap law do not apply to slap backs, and that an anti-slap motion may not be filed against slap back by a party whose filing or maintenance of the prior cause of action from which the slap back arises was illegal as a matter of law. So if they prove that he is filing this slap fraudulently and knowing that it doesn't apply to him, and it's not just his freedom of speech, he went above and beyond directing people to take action. That's literally like, it gets overused. It gets overused, right? But like yelling fire in a crowded movie theater. This is literally directing people to do something. It's not just your freedom of speech. So if he loses this slap back, then he'll have to pay for the lawyers and the time and all that representation. Let's see, 1987.1, 1987.2. It says these statutes set forth a procedure for challenging subpoenas. 2008 amendment to Section 1987 allows any person to challenge subpoenas for personally identified information sought in connection with the underlying lawsuit involving that person's exercise of free speech rights. What he did was not free speech. So I don't even know why I'm entertaining these anymore. What he did was not free speech. He's not going to get an anti-slap lawsuit. He's just trying to use legal jargon that he's heard on my videos, basically. Against your client's frivolous lawsuit and bringing numerous charges of harassment, defamation, and otherwise in a counter lawsuit of our own. Again, that would be called a counterclaim. He gave you the definition. I think you missed it, Phil. Those were not threats to your client. They were an attempt to have her avoid intense legal fees over the next several years. By way of this email, that's not true. They probably were threats. Like, hey, drop this. You're going to lose everything you got. And only the lawyers are going to make money. But again, now he's saying all these counter lawsuits, which would be a counterclaim. He's saying that they have all these counterclaims against it. And now he's back into he's going to make money. I thought he wasn't going to make money. Only the lawyers were going to make money. Whatever. By the way, this email, I likewise request that you and your clients' associates, employees, family members, agents, and representatives preserve, retain, and not delete or destroy any documents, communications, and information in any form which regards or relates to her activity, involvement with, or participation in any Telegram groups. He's just copied and pasted this from Jeff. It says Telegram groups, Twitch videos. That's weird because Phil's not on Twitch. Twitch videos are subscription. YouTube videos and or subscriptions. Well, Phil's not on YouTube either. As well as comments associated with each. That's weird. DLive usernames and our messaging board. He is on DLive. It's not a messaging board, but okay. Rumble usernames and our messaging board. He is on Rumble. Google, Yelp, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Truth Social, or any other social media platform, email, or digital messaging provider. I think that Phil already thinks that Pebbles is Glinda the Good Witch, which is not Pebbles. It's never been Pebbles. I think he's going to try to assert that all these other people are Pebbles, and Pebbles just has the one account. But I also think that he might be planning on calling me to testify or as a witness or make a statement or make testimony. And I think that's why he included Twitch or YouTube. I think that would be a bad move for him, but we'll see. It says a social media platform, email or digital messaging provider, cell phones and cell phone records, as well as bank, credit card, cryptocurrency, and other financial and tax records for her and any company in which she has any legal or beneficial interest or control. My attorney with a more detailed preservation request in the coming days. What? This is not a sentence, Phil. You didn't proof. You're sending this to a lawyer. Least you could do is proofread it. He's so angry. He's angry typing, so much so that one of his sentences just says, my attorney with a more detailed preservation request in the coming days. You wouldn't say, like, please expect to hear from my attorney. These are just two things, my attorney and a detailed request. And a prepositional phrase, in the coming days. What the fuck? Anyways, and please, Jeff, stop your attempt at intimidating me. Oh, somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Stop your attempt at intimidating me. You don't. Your direct communications with me have been noted. For the record, even though you were contacted by my personal attorney for correspondence. Well, the email that you sent Pebbles said that you were still interviewing for a California attorney, and any attorney that's going to represent you in this case has to be either working under or licensed in California to practice law. You have to get a California attorney. So technically, by your own admission, that's not going to be your representative attorney. You said you were interviewing attorneys. The most expensive ones money could buy, I'm sure. So this isn't like some type of breach. You said in your own email you were looking or interviewing attorneys in California. So obviously you don't have one yet. Then it says, my personal attorney for correspondence. Your insult to him has also been noted. Insults? All he said is, I guess you're not going to use your attorney that uses the personal moniker, the injury boss. Ba, ba, ba. The injury boss. What the fuck? That uses the moniker, the injury boss. That's all he said. You said you were interviewing. You were interviewing more. You were interviewing California attorneys, so you're not going to use the energy boss? Your insult to him has also been noted. Phil Dodlingsky. Dodlingsky. There you go. Phil Dodlingsky. That is the response that Hefe got. And I'm sure he's like, what the fuck happened to this guy? He's very touchy this morning. All right, guys, here we go. That is, oh, it's been noted, you all. I have noted that you've noted my alleged insult, and I make note that it was not an insult. It literally is. He's the injury boss. I wonder if you search that. Hold on. PA attorney, the injury boss. There it is. Injury boss, Old Forge, PA. John Novak. It even pulls up his Squarespace. Personal injury attorney. John Novak fights everyday people that are struggling to make it, fights for everyday people that are struggling to make ends meet after an auto accident or other injury. Well, that's not Phil. Phil's not struggling, and he hasn't been in any accident or other injury. He goes head to head against the big insurance companies and corporations. Please stop saying that your lawyer is this guy. This is embarrassing. This is not even his. Lawyers specialize. I'm sure you guys know this. Lawyers specialize. And if you specialize in like car crashes, you're probably not going to be the best defamation attorney or the best, I don't know, constitutional law attorney or whatever you're going for. At the Novak firm, PC, you work with John on day one, and he will fight by your side until your case is completely resolved. In addition, John offers every client 100% free consultation and his no-fee guarantee. His long list of successful case results and satisfied clients speaks to his strong reputation in the legal community. How is John different? Injury lawyer John Novak can't stand the attitudes of typical attorneys who are impossible to get in touch with. John makes himself available for each of his clients. He is direct, open, and provides clear legal advice. And it's that type of honesty that has earned him the trust, loyalty, and respect of his clients. Can John help me? John knows that injuries can create a lot of stress and financial hardship. He will not only get you answers to your questions, but he will also get you justice for your injury. He has an unmatched work ethic, and he was at Phil's wedding, and he's exactly who you want fighting in your corner. Call now for free. 570-240-5680. Claims that this commercial had not been representative of the actual cop. You need a fucking disclaimer at the end. Case results. Testimonials. He's got what? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he's got more than 5. 6, 7. He's got 7, and one of them was a video that's been pulled down. Stephen B. got his long list of cases he's won. Got 7. He might have many more cases than this, but he's got 7 listed. From Angel O, Jeff B. Oh, shit. Jeff B. John R. Robert J. John N. Robert G. And Stephen B., who's Jeff B's brother. There you go. The injury boss. From the Novak firm. Injured? Get a free consultation. Snap it to a Slim Jim. Okay. We got to get to Shelly. I don't think John Novak is the guy for you, Phil. Whatever. Let's go back to over here, and then we'll go here, and then we go to. Got to search for it. Here we go, boys. You ready? I got to skip through some music and stuff. You have to give me a minute.
Hi there, Emerald City. Hello, everybody.
Refrain from names and identity, and we all know who we're pertaining to. Quickly, I didn't have any.
All right, here we go. This is the Shelly story from the Remnant Room. Welcome to Philtopia. Oh, it's good. Sorry, I sent it twice. Lionel Hutz. So here's something that's wild. I guess you guys probably know this about attorneys or whatever. But I had a buddy who sued the railroad. He sued, Lionel Hutz is the guy from The Simpsons, right? The guy who, I had a buddy who sued the railroad. He had they had blown out his eardrums. And he had put him in danger and fucked up his eardrum so bad, like it fucked with his balance. He fell when it happened and fucked his leg up. had to go into like the hospital and rehab and learn how to rewalk. But anyways, he sued the railroad and won. Now at the end of this, when he sued the railroad, he got an expensive attorney that worked like pro bono, or not pro bono, worked for the attorney, knew he was going to win, so just worked for the money at the end. I can't remember what that's called. But he took it and just waited for the settlement to come in. Sued the railroad. It took like 5 years. Took for fucking ever. Sued the railroad. Won his settlement. And I think he won, I think it was like, was it? I can't remember. It was like more than $5 million. $5 million is like the lowest, I think. I think he told me it was like 7 or 8. But let's say $5 million on contingency. Thank you. Let's say it was $5 million. He said he was so excited. You know, he hugged his wife. You know, his family was cheering for him, blah, blah, blah. Pro bono is free, right? Anyways, he was so excited, blah, blah, blah. He went back up after he hugged his wife and his family was cheering or whatever. The railroad lawyers immediately left. He went back up and shook his lawyer's hand. Is like, thanks, blah, blah. And the lawyer's like, this isn't over yet. And he's like, what? And he's like, follow me. So they walked, him and the lawyer walked out of the courtroom and walked out of the courtroom, out of the courthouse. And his lawyer walked all the way to the courthouse steps and was just standing there with him. And they were just both standing there making small talk, him and his client. Then the railroad attorneys come over to him and were like, we'll give you $3.2 million. And the guy that I knew was, you know, kind of a hothead. He's like, fuck you. We just won blah, 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 whatever. You know, we just won this much money, whatever. And his lawyer kind of quieted him down. And he's like, yeah. But the railroad lawyer's like, yeah, but we're going to appeal. We're going to tie it up. We're going to do this. It'll take years and years. You have the money to keep paying an attorney, blah, 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 whatever. And basically he had to take like just a portion of what he actually won just to keep from being tied up in court for another 15 or 20 years, because they would have tied it up every chance they could get. And it was just like common knowledge that his lawyer even knew this was going to happen and told him, just take it. Just take the offer. Like, that's not a bad offer. It's over 50%. We don't want to be fighting for 20 years of appeals and this, that, and the other. So he took it. I mean, it's still a good chunk of change, but what you win is not what you get when you're talking about mega corporations and shit. It's even like most people think you go into mediation, but instead of court, you actually go into mediation after court too. They're not giving you exactly what you want. It's just not happening with a mega corporation. They'll tie it up and tie it up and tie it up. All right, back to Shelly.
Hey, everybody. Hello, Shelly.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, before you get going, I'd just like to make a disclaimer on behalf of Remnant Room and for your benefit, as well as everybody that's on Remnant Room. If I could just quickly, I didn't have any time to type anything up, but I want to put a disclaimer out there that you have still pending litigation. And so in lieu of that pending litigation, we are asking for everyone, whether you're on here live and going to speak tonight or over on the Remnant Room chat wall, we ask that regards to the pending litigation, that any subject matter, persons or information relating to the pending litigation of the subject matter, that names and identities not be used. Refrain from names and identity, and we all know who we're pertaining to with Mr. Fricks, that please withhold from any print or material or carrying anything over.
So they're terrified of posting anything about Chris Fricks. That's the person who's still suing, said Shelly. I think that's probably the person she got in trouble with terroristic threats, but it's hard to tell because she called the U.S. Marshals on me. And I guess when they didn't do anything, she cussed them all out and yelled at them and screamed at them and shit. So, hell, she might have threatened like a federal agent. I don't know. She's also currently playing a game in the Remnant Room. So, Mark sent me this earlier, and it says, this is Shelly posting. It says, 7 days since my arrest and no contact whatsoever. That's not family. So, her family hasn't contacted her, even though she was arrested 7 days ago. They haven't tried to contact her at all. It says, that's not loyalty. That's not my friend. That's not all in. Then she says, a Remnant Room, y'all want to play a game? Okay, be watching the wall for your clue. Then she says, warm up. Go find a picture of baby John and post it on the Remnant Room wall. Ready? Go. So they had to go find a picture of baby John, JFK Jr., and post it on the wall. Then she says, keep posting. Then she changes it to, where am I? We are live there. I guess, baby John's room. I don't know. Wouldn't it be weird if she was like in your attic? I'm just upstairs. Keep coming. Anyway, she says, we are live there. Where are y'all? We are waiting. We have to take John with us. Post your John pics on the Yellow Brick Road. Follow the Yellow Brick Road. So I guess they went to like a place called Follow the Yellow Brick Road or Yellow Brick Road Telegram channel. And she's saying, bring your baby John pics to post there. And then she shares a photo of like the Emerald City, or other people are sharing a photo of the Emerald City. Then for some reason, I don't know what this town is. It looks like Knoxville. And it says, we have to take John with us. Post your John pics on the Yellow Brick Road. We're going to wait for everyone to make it to the Yellow Brick Road before we start our journey. Then they show Dorothy on the Yellow Brick Road. Like, she's playing these games to train them to be psychos, basically. They're decoding everything. I feel like they're on mushrooms all the time. Anyways, they're terrified of Chris Fricks.
To the Remnant Room chat wall at this time. And that's out of consideration in regards to the pending litigation that is still ongoing. So we don't want to
Bevy G.
Shelly in any.
Thank you very much. I didn't get a thanks some people for subscriptions. Hold on. We will get back to that. But Bevy G, thank you. Bob Kitten follows. Thank you very much. Derek's Belt Buckle has followed. Mama Trends followed. Thank you. Gypsy Daisy subscribed. Roadhouse Pundit followed. Connie B118 followed while we were offline. Charlie Canop followed. Jaybird 1_Jaybird followed. Tom Fenton is hot followed. Shenananon subscribed. Matt Abate subscribed. Paula K subscribed. D Truman followed. Atsuko subscribed. Vern22 subscribed. These were all while offline last night. One Munch followed. Barbara Antique subscribed right at the end of the show. She got it right at the end. I even said, good job, Barbara. I don't know if it went through, but thank you for the subscription. Thank you guys for subscribing on Kick. And at least you know I'm getting 100% of the revenue there.
Any type of jeopardy, and we certainly do not want to jeopardize her defense in those matters. So if we could respect that, it would be great.
That's right, Austin. Matt
from any names, identities, or identities to the subject matter of the pending litigation that Shelly's involved with, and that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, everyone. Shelly, you may go ahead. I just wanted to throw that out there if I may.
Thank you so very much. And yes, and guess what? Look what Trumpy just posted, would you? I love it. Thank you, Trumpy. I love you. Motion to dismiss and to kiss my ass.
Damn it, I missed my timestamp.
He had to have me laugh.
So they're talking about Trump's post. He put motion to dismiss and kiss my ass. Trump might be put in jail. He might be put in pretrial detention because he said something about one of the witnesses earlier who's in a political office said, oh, he should have done that. I wouldn't have done that if I was him. He's actively discouraging witnesses, and he's not allowed to do that. Just like when he lost the this part of the civil case about the sexual harassment with E. Jean Carroll or whatever, immediately he went on to talk shit about her, and she fucking filed again. Like he can't discourage witnesses like that. I honestly think he's talking so much shit about Fulton County and Georgia that the reason he's talking so much shit about the highest crime, those people, and that down there, it's a horrible city. But I think his judge is going to try to say that he can't get a fair trial there. They really want this trial in federal court, not Georgia court. Why? Because in federal court, even if he's convicted, he can pardon himself. Convicted, not convicted, whatever. He can pardon himself. If it's in Georgia court, not even most state governors can pardon. Georgia, it's not like that. They took the power away from the governor. It's through the parole board that he can be pardoned. So he's not getting a pardon in the state of Georgia. It's not happening, no matter who the governor is.
Coming on the call. He just did it. Oh my goodness, too funny. So yeah, I just dismissed, and y'all understand later. Oh man. But anyways, so yeah.
Mariah got a massage and pedicure. She's got those ovarian eggs nice and tenderized for when I get home. I'll put her in her corner.
My first and last experience in the jail. And so I know
the reason that Trump is trying to basically pick a more favorable audience, and if he gets it to federal court, like I said, But like, he doesn't want to be tried in D.C. either. He wants to be tried in. They said that they need more, a more diverse jury pool. So where would you say the epicenter of diversity is in the United States? Not D.C. Not D.C. Where would you say the epicenter of diversity is if you had to guess, chat? The most diverse place in the world. His lawyers are requesting West Virginia. I saw Chris M put in the chat. His lawyers are requesting West Virginia to make it more diverse than Washington, D.C. He wants West Virginia. He just picked the closest state with the most supporters. That's all he did. West Virginia. The fuck out of here.
Y'all just dying for information. So, I will gladly share with y'all my experience because what evil intended for bad, God made for good. And when you hear my testimony for tonight, you will definitely understand that it is all God. And the things that had to take place, the things that I had to experience was for this journey. And so we all know that all of this is about the children, everything from way back in 2021 when God called me to this mission until this very present moment. It's all been for the children, exposing evil and sharing with those about trafficking, making people aware in whatever way, shape, form, or fashion, and then to go out and share that with others. And so whether it be on Telegram, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on True Social, wherever. And so in that process, I've been targeted, to put it mildly. And so to be silent.
You've been targeted.
The problem is, while evil has existed, is we've been silent for too long. We've allowed things to go on in our own neighborhoods and not we've turned a blind eye to things. And so I believe that God's called us out to speak up, to stand up. And when we were deciding, what time to come on tonight, automatically 95 came to mind, 905 came to mind. Well, I didn't know until Aaron said it, that 95 is stand up 95, which I ain't know if I thought about it long enough, but it just 905 just came to mind. So anyway, so I believe that, there's.
So you have to remember in their crazy batshit system, zeros mean nothing. That's literally a quote from Neg48, and you'll see them post that all the time. Zero means nothing. They just throw out zeros. So if it's 9,000,005, that's 95. If it's 905, that's 95. Unless they need that zero to mean something else. But it literally a quote from Neg48 himself, where zeros means nothing, and they still fucking abide by that. They'll even post like memes about zeros meaning nothing, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is.
Perfect plan for everything, and God gives me messages just like that for, because usually I'll do like 901, 910, 911, something like that. Well, anyways, just 905 came into mind. So anyway, so just little God winks like that. So where do I start? I guess from the beginning. So I get a knock at the door, and I was asleep because I was getting rest before I have to work. And before I could get to the door, another bam, 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 at the door. Well, I knew that was, somebody pretty determined to get in. And so open the door, three officers standing, like 3 or 4 cop cars out there, or sheriff's cars, whatever, and turn around, you're under arrest. And so it went from there. And so I got to ride in the back of the cop car for the first time. And, I'm such a big threat, you would think that I've would have been in trouble, been at least in the back of a cop car for some reason, whatever. No, first time for everything though, right? So get in the car, calm, cool, collected, because God goes with me. He is my protector, my provider. And so we trek on the journey of the jail. So we get, and I kid you not, we get to the National Guard Armory. We go by that on the way to the jail. And so out of nowhere, and I mean nowhere, the biggest thunderclap. There was no flash of lightning, but it was thunder. The biggest clash of thunder that lightning should have struck right near the car, the police car, sheriff's car, whatever. But there was nothing.
So amazing, unprovable weather happened in the cop car when they passed the National Guard Armory.
So I just chuckled and I said, expect more of that. So
the cops got to think this bitch is crazy. Expect more of that. My God's coming to get me out of jail.
Accusations of which I've been accused of are false, but that's not either or there at the moment. So I was
Hold
Get
on.
out of the car.
What'd she just say? I wish I could make this bigger so seeking was easier.
Which, the accusations of which I've been accused of are false. But that's not either or there at the moment.
That's not hither or there. The neither here nor there is a saying, right? Hold on, let me slow it down to normal speed. Neither here nor there.
We been handcuffed. The biggest clash of thunder that lightning should have struck right near the car, the police car, sheriff's car, whatever. But there was nothing.
Here nor there, maybe?
So I just chuckled and I said, expect more of that. So
Expect more God thunder.
We get to the jail and which, the accusations of which I've been accused of are false, but that's not either or there at the moment.
That's not hither or there. That's what she said. I thought that's what she said. So she thinks the saying is, that's not hither or there. Hither or there. The government does control the weather when God lets them.
So I was asked to get out of the car, which, by the way, if you've ever been handcuffed, they want to squish your bones in your wrists. And so I don't think I have them now, but I think I had a small bruise, but nevertheless, it's all good. No pain, no gain, right? So I get there.
So she was in jail for 2 days. This is the day she got out. So she had a small bruise instantly from the handcuffs, but they're gone now, 3 days later.
Out, get patted down. Of course, I got patted down before I left my house. And go in.
Not either over there.
The first person I meet is a young girl that goes to my church. So she knew who I was.
In jail?
She knew I'm no criminal.
A person that goes to my church. By the way, Shelly, we covered her Facebook meltdown where she was very upset about her church because they had like a get-together potluck dinner for the women of the church, and they invited her mom, her cousins, all of her relatives, but they didn't invite Shelly. And she said they had been standoffish towards her. She's not a big fan of her church. She even called out her pastor because apparently she messaged her pastor and he didn't answer. And she private messaged him. He didn't answer. And then when he got back with her, he's like, sorry, I'm out of town right now. I had to get back when you get home. And she made this big post about, if you're going to be the super director, attendant, pastor, assistant, blah, 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 you need to be available for your flock. So the pastor's wife gets on there and is like, my husband works a full-time job. He's also a pastor. He's out of town currently. I'm sorry he didn't get to you quick enough, blah, blah. That made her freak out more. Shelly's the type of person that would claim anything. There's no way I would private message her, like if I was like a pastor or anywhere near her, like in her area, because the next thing she's going to claim is that you met up with her and assaulted her or you're working for Satan. Who knows? There's no way I would meet up with her or message her or anything if I, like, she can't say much about me. What, I'm the demon, but I'm hundreds of miles away. Not if I lived in her fucking town. She was mad that her mom went to the lady social at the church, but she didn't. She works at Bucky's gas station, the big giant gas stations that Bull's always talking about.
But anyway, she did her duty. She patted me down. And then I got my browns, my inmate clothes.
My browns.
And I got sent over to the holding
Her
cell.
round browns.
And guess what was waiting on me when I got in the holding cell? Oh, I was in there by myself, by the way. Just me and God, of course. But a Tiffany blue mat.
All the mats are blue. Hold on. I don't think they're all blue. All the only ones I've ever seen are blue because they have like a plastic coating on them to where if you piss or bleed or something, they can hose them off. So a Tiffany blue mat. By the way, I think the one person from our church that recognized her had to be a cop or a jailer or somebody that works in the jail because she hasn't said that they were an inmate. Somebody that went to our church, works at the jail. That's the first person who saw her. And then she got to a Tiffany blue mat. A Tiffany blue mat. It's a sign from God. Tiffany blue. That was John's color because you see him in that little blue petticoat. right? Where he's standing out in front of the parade. JFK Jr. And Tiffany Blue is tied to a bunch of other things, right? Yeah, this image. Open image in a new tab. They love this image. They love this image. And apparently JFK's wife loved Tiffany and Tiffany Blue. And they've tied it to Trump and Melania and all these other things. But there you go. They love this image. That she was basically sleeping on JFK Jr. That's what she's trying to say, basically.
The Tiffany Blue mat that would carry me to my jail cell. That's would stay with me until I left. Tiffany Blue mat, little mattress. It was, if they want to call it a mattress, they want to call it 2 pieces of fabric with
that's right, Jim.
Toilet paper in between because it didn't feel much better than the floor itself. But it was something between me and the floor. So I get changed, and there's a blanket. Well, that blanket is a gray blanket with a Tiffany Blue stripe in it.
Oh my God!
Kid you not. So, and all these little God winks along the way, which I didn't know.
God winks.
I probably need to look at that time. Probably there's a timestamp somewhere in that.
That's what she's going to call all these coincidences. They're God winks. They're God winks. By the way, one thing I've noticed is basically anything blue, they start calling Tiffany Blue. Here are the blankets from the jail supply store. They're gray with a blue stripe. Tiffany Blue. Got to be Tiffany Blue. Tiffany Blue. Tiffany Blue. Any blue is Tiffany Blue according to them. There's the jail supply store, and just looking out for God winks, guys. Look out for the God winks.
I have to look at the police report, I guess. But anyways, so in a bit, they come get me for none other than the infamous mugshot. Calm, cool, collected, not upset at all. Know that God's plan is way bigger than anything the devil has to throw at me. Anything. So I go for the mugshot. I'm not sad. I'm not, jumping for joy, but I'm not sad. And I'm definitely not crying. So, I knew that nice picture was going to get circulated because, that's...
She kind of looks like a serial killer, I'm not going to lie. She kind of looks like a serial killer in her mugshot. We've looked at it already.
That's what evil does. Evil wants to prey on, and it's P-R-E-Y, on other people's sorrows, other people's downtroddenness, right? So I did not smile because, the devil loses, right? So that's something we should be happy about. That's something we should be joyous about. And in our sorrows, we praise his name and we glorify his name and we should be happy even in the midst of storm, right? So there is my smile because I know God wins and evil loses. So yeah, there you go. And there is a person that will laugh last, and that's H8A1, 81, ha, right? So 81, ha, will laugh last, right. So anyways, so then I go over.
HA is apparently 81, I guess. Not in typical gematria. It would be 9. But they take the H and the A separately. H is 8. A is 1. So that's 81. But any other thing they were adding up, it would be 9. But again, they make these gigantic loopholes for them to prove what's actually good. Like I said, anything blue is Tiffany Blue. HA ha would be 9. But it's 81 because it fits better.
For those of you who've never been arrested, I'm going into details because, all this is new to me too. So it's like, okay, what do I do next? Where do I go next? Where do I do this next? So anyways, there are repeat offenders.
They also love, she's like, I guess you haven't been to jail. I'm sure some of your people have. They seem like nut jobs. They also have this fixation with 88. And if you don't know, 88 is also synonymous with a bunch of, especially in prisons and jails, people have 88 tattooed on them because H is 8. So 88 would be HH, like Hell Hitler. So a lot of the Aryan Nation and skinheads and shit, they have 88 tattooed on them. Sometimes 1488. 14 for the words, the 14 words about we must protect the existence and future of white children or whatever. The 14 words, and 88 for Hell Hitler.
Know the system and how it works. Not me. So I go over and I get fingerprinted. And the same guy that was fingerprinting me had searched my purse. And in there, I had some money, and I had this little bottle, was my Nuts Vomica. For those of you that I've told y'all throughout this journey, all natural medicines, homeopathics, and things like that, Nux vomica helps for nausea. Well, you just never know when you're going to get nauseous. So it always stays in my purse. And so
That's right.
I had to explain to them what natural medicine was, what Nux vomica was. I had to look it up on the...
So she's trying to explain to the cops what her natural botanical fucking nausea medicine is.
Screen.
While they're looking at her like, are you sure this is a fucking acid, bitch? What are you saying?
So I educated them on what Nux vomica was. And so, yeah, for those of you that, you know, that's a staple to keep in your purse or around you at all times, because if you're like me and you don't like to throw up, you need to have it on hand.
So you just had a birthday, Wisconsin. Happy birthday. Mariah's is tomorrow, or Mariah's is in 15 minutes, basically. I'm going to go home and give her a good gut pounding for them, for her birthday.
Yeah, so anyways, that was in my purse. So that was, you know, just one of the things, you know, you feel violated, but, you know, it is what it is. If you ever had a kid, you know, at some point you just, you know, when you go for your yearly checkups, you know, it's just one of those things you just got to do. Well, okay, so in this case, I just knew that, you know, these are the processes you got to go through, and nothing's hidden, right? Well, you know, yeah, you're right. Nothing.
The fuck did she have in her purse? She was embarrassed by? Hold on.
In the dark shall be brought to the light, and will be brought to the light. Journey, all natural medicines, homeopathics, and things like that. Nux vomica helps for nausea. Well, you just never know when you're going to get nauseous. So it always stays in my purse. And so I had to explain to them what natural medicine was, what Nux vomica was. I had to look it up on the screen. And so I educated them on what Nux vomica was. And so, yeah, for those of you that, you know, that's a staple to keep in your purse or around you at all times, because if you're like me and you don't like to throw up, you need to have it on hand. So anyways, that was in my purse. So that was, you know, just one of the things, you know, you feel violated, but, you know, it is what it is. If you ever had a kid.
You feel violated because you had anti-nausea medicine in your purse and they found it? No, I don't think anyone likes to. Do you guys like to throw up? Does anyone like to puke? Even like a fucking bulimic or anorexic or whichever one it is, they don't like to puke. I don't think.
You know, at some point you just, you know, when you go for your yearly checkups, you know, it's just one of those things you just got to do. Well, okay, so.
There's also a picture of Shelly before her her gastric sleeve surgery kicked in. She was a little bit plumper. I'll tell you that much. I can't say much. I'm pretty plump myself. But I'd like to see the shitter on that critter, if you know what I mean.
In this case, I just knew that, you know, these are the processes you got to go through, and nothing's hidden, right? Well, you know, yeah, you're right. Nothing will be hidden. Everything in the dark shall be brought to the light, and will be brought to the light.
So, of course, because they're searching her purse, basically, that means everything hidden will be brought to light. This is just, all this is a bunch of little God winks of God showing her how the end days are going to happen. They're searching you. I'm going to search everybody. They check your nausea medicine. I'm going to make everybody in the deep state puke. They lock you in a jail cell. I'm going to lock everybody up. There we go.
Everyone. No one escapes this. And so I get over to do the fingerprint. And I'm getting my fingerprint printed, and it's on this computer. It is all computerized now, which, you know, a little bit different than what Bucky's is, but, you know, a lot different, actually. But I had my finger printed when, you know, I got my carrying permit, so I knew kind of what fingerprinting was, but this was on computer. But anyways, nevertheless. So as I'm getting my finger printed, the guy says, "You don't recognize me, do you?" I was like, nope. And I'm not going to say who this person is, just for...
God winks and Shelly kinks. That's a good one.
Just because I am not going to say it. But anyways, he goes, yeah, he goes, I went to school with your son. So he knew me too. So anyways.
She doesn't think this is embarrassing. She thinks this is God putting people there. Like, I would be so embarrassed if I got arrested for terroristic threats and drug out of my fucking house and drugged down there because I called the U.S. Marshal's office and told them I was going to unalive them all.
You know, we all knew it was cockable, or I did anyways. I knew it's all cockable, but knew it's going to have to go through the process. So enjoy it while, you know, you got to be there. You might as well enjoy it. Right?
Cockable, boys.
So then I get my inmate number.
Damn, we're getting close to 200 viewers listening to this nut job. Thank you guys for joining us. Please follow the channel if you want to chat with us. I got follower-only chat on because I'm trying to build up my numbers here. I don't stream here super often, but I'm doing it all this weekend as a test. Thank you guys for joining us. This is a crazy QAnon follower of a guy named Neg48, where they decode and add up all the letters in a word, find other words that relate. They think Trump's secretly messaging them with gematria. I can't wait till body cam comes out. We'll have to FOIA request it, I think.
And it's that number that's parading around. Everybody's got it. You know, that 50420. Yeah, that's my inmate number for the rest of my life. You know, until Jesus comes back, anyways. And which ain't too far away. If you know what I'm saying. If you're catching what I'm putting down, you know, that kind of thing.
Does your inmate number stay? Like, if I go, does it stay with you? Like, let's say I get arrested today, and I get inmate number 7. and then, you know, it'd obviously be more digits than that, and then I go back and get arrested a year from now, would I be the same inmate number? Is that something that stays with you? You get a new one each time? Because she's going back to jail again.
So I had a 1 minute phone call that I was supposed to make. And, you know, you get that 1 minute to be able to make a phone call to notify next of kin or whatever, whoever you want to call to get the ball rolling.
Because Neg48 said it. 0 means nothing. What is a period, legend? A period is a very, very tiny 0. Zeros mean nothing.
Well, I couldn't remember my mom's phone number. You know, that's what happens when you put in your speed dial, your favorites, that you don't have to remember the phone number. So she had her number changed a while back anyway. So I didn't have her phone number. So I called Todd. It's the only number I really could remember besides Lacey's off the top of my head. So called Todd and got him to call my mom.
Who is Todd? I don't know enough about her family. Todd Mullinax, is that, you think that's her ex-husband or something? I don't know. So I've heard X. Thank you. I didn't know that for real. But thank you for letting me know.
And the first thing on my mind was letting Bucky's know that I wouldn't be in for work. And I said, nothing else, get
Thanks, Zack Attack.
that, and let them know everything, you know, what's going on. So anyways, got that call made.
I'll find Todd. Is he the one that told everybody, that made that post that she wasn't even there for the birth of her first grandchild? Is that the same ex, or did she remarry? Because I know that her husband, I guess, her husband at the time made a post that she wasn't even there for her first. Did he say that to a media outlet? Wasn't there for the birth of her first grandkid.
And then I was on my journey. Walked down the hall, down to the dungeon, belly of the whale, whatever you want to call it, for 3 days. He told me when I got booked in that, I said, well, how's this process work? And he said, well, you came in too late to get a hearing. You're going to be here till Monday. I said, oh, okay. I knew that was there for a reason. I knew that I was going to be there. God had big plans. I knew it. So I chin up, grabbed my Tiffany blue mat, my gray blanket with Tiffany blue strap, my bag of belongings. Well, I didn't have my belongings this time. I had my inmate clothes. Oh, gosh, I forgot to tell y'all. I just back it up. So when I got arrested, I didn't have my shoes on. And I had, because my nails were long overdue and my toes were long overdue. And, you know, that's kind of like treating myself. I went to go get my nails done. And so I had on my sparkly sandals, and when I went to go get my nails done, so they were sitting right inside the door. And so as they were about to put me in, they were going to walk me to the car, I was like, can I at least have some shoes to put on? You know, and so he said, yeah, where are they? And I was like, well, the closest ones are those right there. I had them on that. So I went to jail with my sparkly sandals on, you know, my rhinestone sandals. And so as I'm walking down the hall.
So she had just gotten her nails done before she goes to jail. So she shows up in her sparkly sand. I remember being sad for her. Yeah. Like, until you hear them talk. Like, you can be sad for them until you hear them speak. Like, if having a grandkid or a kid, I say the same thing about people who use drugs. Like, I can't lie. I've done tons of fucking drugs, right? If having a kid doesn't change the way you operate with, like, running around and finding dope and doing drugs and partying, then nothing's going to change the way you fucking operate. You just sit there, right, until you get older or grow out of it or whatever's going to happen, or die, overdose, I don't know. But, like, you feel sorry for them for a little bit, and then you're like, damn, fuck this. They even listen to them. This is Shelly talking about being in jail. Shelly Mullinax, the Neg48 follower.
All in the jail, back over to, as I was carrying my Tiffany blue mat and my
Georgia
Tiffany blue strap blanket down to pod J, which I didn't know at the time that was the pod I was going to, but had my sparkly shoes on, had my bag of belongings, like my inmate towel, my inmate washcloth, my inmate sheet to go over my Tiffany blue mat. I had a little bottle of shampoo, a little tiny toothbrush, and toothpaste, and no deodorant though. They didn't pass out deodorant. And shampoo, a little thing of shampoo. So anyways, I'm walking down in that long should be intimidating. Well, it's intimidating. I don't believe I'm above the law, but I believe that God had a bigger plan, has a bigger plan in place, right? So I'm not being arrogant here when I say this. So I'm walking down the hallway, and I just feel the presence of the Lord, and he says, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. And I hold to those words. Those are not just words spoken, but those are meaning words. Those are promises made, promises kept, right? So I'm not going to cry because he is my rock. But those are the things I'm telling y'all, that when you feel like that nobody is with you and nobody is for you, there's one person who never, ever will let you down, and that's Jesus Christ. So he was with me and walking alongside me down that hallway.
Okay.
And lo and behold, he said, turn right. There was another inmate that was walking with me, and she went to another pod. But mine, I was assigned to pod J, capital J. You walk in, and it's kind of like the commons area where, all inmates can sit around on tables and play cards and watch TV or walk, around the boundaries. And so he gave me my assignment, and my cell was cell 7. We know gematria. J is 10. And there was that 7.
Oh, God.
That was another God wink. 107 Superman. Hold that 7. Hold that 0. 1 and 7, 17Q. Out of all the pods, out of all the cells.
Out of all of them.
That's the cell I was in. So, met my bunkies. That's what they call them, is bunkies. Your inmates that you're going to be rooming with. Jennifer and Jenny. Jennie, and Jennifer, Jennifer. I didn't know that at the time, but somebody's at my front door.
Oh, God. Somebody's at her front door. Shut it down. Gonna meet her bunkie. That's right.
So anyways,
I wish it would have been the cops again.
I go to my cell, and I'm gonna get myself acclimated, and supposed to be on top bunk. I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I can get up there or not, but we'll try. So I was like, oh, I can make this. So I threw my stuff up there, and it wasn't time to go to bed yet, whatever. We weren't in lockdown, so I kind of got to meet other people and kind of know a little bit about who I was rooming with, and talking to them. And so anyways, just small talk, and things were said, and told them about the journey I'd been on, about child sex trafficking, trying to expose evil going around the country, educate people on what's going on around in the world and around the world. And so anyways, some things were said, and things I'm not going to disclose here, but connecting dots. That's all I'm going to say. Information that I would have gotten if I hadn't been there, if I hadn't been in the cell with a particular person, or, well, I say, it wasn't just that person, but anyways, so some information, helpful not just for me, but in the big scheme of things. And so they were in on, it doesn't really matter, but they'd been there for a while. And so knowing the ropes, I'm coming in on a Friday night. I had 0 money on my account to even be able to make a phone call. So I'd make a collect call to my mom, and those are bugs, like some major bugs on the door. I have my outside light on, so that's why I guess they're attracted to that. They're coming onto the door and they're making a noise. But anyway, so wasn't anybody. False alarm. So, anyways, very kind. Know the way things are run, whatever. And knowing I didn't even have access to a bottle of water. I didn't have anything. And so they kind of told me about things, about how things are running there, as far as you don't get to order from the store until Tuesday, and it isn't delivered till Thursday. And so the whole weekend I was without anything, just the clothes on my back and the items I told y'all about that I carried with me down the hallway. And so I started talking about spiritual warfare, and just over a series of the days that I was there, but about how we were in spiritual battle. And it's not a Democrat or Republic. It's not a, race war. It's good versus evil. And so they were so on board. And, one of the first things that they did when I was in there is they gave me one of their Bibles. They had several there, so they gave me one of their Bibles because, you can't bring anything in there with you. You don't get anything. And so they gave me, or let me use one of their Bibles. And so we would have devotion and prayer. And one of the things that when I met one of the ladies in one of the other cells, her mom had passed away while she was in there, and she was having a really hard time And I asked her if I could pray with her. And she said, yeah. Well, another lady said, yeah, I'd love for you to pray for me too. And so we went into one of the other cells, and there was about, I didn't count, but I guess something around, there's only supposed to be 4 in a room. There's probably 8 of us, I guess you'd say. And so I prayed. And at the end of the prayer, there wasn't a dry eye.
8 instead of 4.
You know, that's not anything new. Y'all know I cry a lot, but hey, warriors cry. It's all good. So anyways, and then at the end of it, we all said the Lord's Prayer.
Warriors cry. So
and I told him, I said, you know, where 2 or more gather.
At the end of it, she had them in a prayer circle. At the end of it, she had them in a prayer circle. So I guess that's good. I don't know. I guess that's good. I have no idea. But she had them in a prayer circle at the end of all this. I'm trying to grab something right here. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can download this. Oh, shit. I just found something interesting. Plaintiff is entitled to divorce from defendant upon the ground that the marriage between the parties is irreversibly broken. I can't say that word, apparently. As contemplated by OCGA section 195.3.13. There being no reasonable hope for reconciliation. Plaintiff is additionally entitled to a divorce from the defendant set forth in OCGA 19-5-3. The plaintiff shows that the defendant has joined what appears to be an extremist group that is potentially armed and dangerous. The plaintiff prays that the defendant be restrained and enjoined from entering upon or going about the marital residence out of safety and concerns posed by strangers traveling with her. The plaintiff shows that the defendant's personality has changed since joining said group, and the defendant has abandoned the plaintiff and failed to return to their family even after the birth of their first grandchild. Didn't we read this before? Is this where I found it? In December of 2021, and after the death of the plaintiff's mother in February. So her mother-in-law died. He didn't show up. Defendant is healthy and capable of being fully employed. Plaintiff is entitled to reasonable attorney fees and expenses of litigation related to this action. The parties have accumulated various property and debts, blah, blah, blah. The plaintiff shows that the parties have substantial debts that the plaintiff is willing to assume in lieu of liquidation and division of property, which could make the defendant a person of interest or target of special interest groups or IRS. The plaintiff and adult child are in need of marital residence and should be given exclusive temporary possession of the marital residence of the parties, and the defendant should be immediately restrained and enjoined from coming about the same. Ooh, I need to download this. I might have already had this. I just paid $3 for a copy of it. Temporary restraining order. Ooh, they asked for a temporary restraining order. Both parties be restrained and joined for transferring. The plaintiff be awarded temporary and exclusive use and possession of the home place. Damn it, Shelly. Damn it. I think I already had this, but I got it now for sure. Ain't that right? What else is in here? Final judgment, certificate of service, deposition. Ooh. I wonder what the deposition is. Affidavits, motion, order, summons. I wonder if it'll let me preview it. Hold on. That's really only one page, and they've signed it. It doesn't look like a deposition. Certificate of service, order, final judgment. I don't know how this turned out. I remember knowing that, exhibits A, B, C, and D. Six pages of exhibits. 6 pages. I'm going to get it. I got to get it. It's charging me every time I get a clip. I would send a dono clip, but I'm lost. I don't know what that means. Received at 2:29 o'clock p.m. 23rd of J. I executed Dallas County 10:05 a.m. 28th day by delivering to Shelly Mullinax. Okay, that's just the thing that was delivered to her. I've served Shelly Mullinax. I've served, or that's Exhibit B. In the Superior Court. Yeah, there's not really evidence here. I paid for it, but I didn't get anything. Dear Shelly, the 7th District Court mediation guidelines require that parties mutually agree to scheduling a mediation Yeah, I probably shouldn't have paid for this. Oh, wait. Here's one. This is a post as evidence from the remnant room. My husband reads my text and saw where the address of where we are staying was given to someone. So I was served my divorce papers this morning at 10:10 a.m. CST. I know he is in my chats and listens too. She was hiding from these divorce papers. She was hiding from this shit. You can't cheer like you... You realize you're not on Twitch, right? Todd Molinax, you can have everything. I don't care what you think about me or my mission. You will soon find out, as will the rest of the world, that I have always been on a mission from God. You will see. Lacey and Matt will see. I was always telling the truth. That's Exhibit D. That was worth the $4 or whatever I just paid for that. That wasn't bad. That wasn't too bad. Ooh. I wonder if there's any more here. Hold on. Can we see the, hold on, Shelly Molinax? Can we see the Chris Frick stuff? I bet you I'm in the wrong county for that, aren't I? Let's see. What is this one about? Thompson v. Molinax. Oh, that's Sheila. I'm sorry. Bronco Pontiac versus Shelly D. Molinax. I was trying to see if I could see the Chris Frick stuff. I might not be able to. Anyways, we got to get back to this audio. I'm sorry.
But I'm there. I said, he's right here with us right now. So we're having church. And
by the way, there were allegations that there was like a big sex cult, basically. Like everybody was fucking everybody. I don't know if that's true. Happy birthday, Mariah. It's 7 minutes after. Happy birthday, Mariah. Everybody say happy birthday to Mariah if she's still here. I don't know if she is or not. Happy birthday. She keeps falling asleep. But yeah, there was allegations of a big sex cult. Everybody was fucking everybody. Her husband had to literally track her down, and the only reason he found her to serve her papers, he basically had to have somebody to serve her on hand because she could be anywhere. They knew they were in Texas, and that he had to have somebody ready to go at a moment's notice because they were just getting the address and they would be gone the next day. Sometimes they would stay a couple days, but the time he found the address, I think they were staying there for 3 days, but she got served on the very first day. Let me call Mariah right quick. Might not answer. Damn. I was just going to tell everybody's wishing her a happy birthday. Okay. I guess I'll try again later.
Automated voice messaging system.
I didn't want it to say, it'll say her number next. Anyways, back to the audio. Maybe she'll come back. I don't know. She must have fell asleep. She had to go, she had to get up early to take the kids to school. Then she had a massage and a pedicure for her mom got her for her birthday. And then when she come back in, they asked her to come into work for like trying to do dishes. Okay. She had to come back into work for an hour, or a couple hours, even after I left. She had to go work so the other lady could leave and do something about a football game or whatever.
And that's what I was telling my bunkies, we were talking, and, they said they have church on Tuesdays, which is tomorrow. I said, but, I said, it's about a relationship. It's about a relationship. And, you don't have to go to church.
So they have church on Tuesdays, even though Shelly was arrested on a Monday. They have church on Tuesdays. So she's like, hey, this is church where two or more are gathered in my name.
He's right with us, And so just another God moment, And so so we lay down or I get up in the bunk. Boy, was that a mistake. Laying on my Tiffany blue mat, and Jennifer said, hey, I'll lend you one of my white t-shirts that you can, sleep in and or whatever. And, that's just the kindness that they were. I didn't have anything but the clothes on my back, and she was willing to let me borrow one of hers. That's what they did,
Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it.
And so the next morning, 5:30 is when the doors open, the lights come on, which the light never really goes off. There's a night light, but so time for me to get down off the bunk to go for what they call spray down, which is they come in and they spray the toilet and the shower, and everybody has to be up against the wall, down in the commons area for all that to take place. So I wrap myself up in my gray Tiffany blue strap blanket, go downstairs and with my sparkly shoes
Tiffany
on.
blue, Tiffany blue, Tiffany blue,
everybody
sparkler shoes, Tiffany blue.
Being introduced to the group, that was what everybody drew the attention to, was the sparkly shoes. And I said, well, I'm sorry I didn't mean to come in here all sparkly, but it's all I had. So at the time, and wasn't expecting to come in here, ha ha ha, kind of thing. So anyway, so the next morning we do the spray down, and then we get our chow. Oh my gosh. Well, they can't make it good. They can't make the food good because too many people won't stay in there, right? So we get our.
That's right,
And
Shelly.
mind you, I hadn't had anything to drink.
That's how they rehabilitate people, is with shitty food. They just make the food progressively shittier until people are like, damn, I'll never commit a crime and come back here. I just want out. That makes tons of sense. I was wondering why the food was bad in the institution. It's not just that institutionalized food is bad. It's to keep people out. Keep people out of jail.
Or eat from the time I got arrested, which was about, I want to say maybe 5 o'clock. I don't remember. It was later in the day. I don't remember what time it was actually. Maybe 5, close to 6 o'clock. I don't know. Anyway, sometimes 6 o'clock would be dangerous. Maybe that's what it was all about. I have no idea. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm a little bit hungry. So I said, what do you think we're going to have? And they said, we might have oatmeal, we might have cereal. I don't know what it is. So we get it. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm looking and, he comes in with this tray of food. They're all stacked up, and you can tell it was all slopped together because it was all dripping down the sides. It was all stacked up, but it was all dripping down the sides. And I'm like, what am I about to put in my mouth? What am I about to put in my body? I have no clue. But at this point, I'll take whatever it is. So we get it, and I'm looking, and it's.
That's what Mariah said our first alone time together. She's like, what am I about to put in my mouth? What am I about to put in my body? I'll take it all the same. By this time, I'd take about anything. That was when me and Mariah first made love.
Runny grits, pancakes about the size of a.
Sky Moon.
I don't know, $2 silver put together, maybe. I don't know.
Thank you.
Which I make much better pancakes than they do. Whew. And then these 2 sausage patties. And I was like, okay, I can handle this, maybe.
2 sausages in a women's jail is going to get interesting.
And which I can't stand runny grits, but it's like, I can grin and bear it. And of course, Jennifer, my bunkie, says, whatever food
Mariah also said that. I can grin and bear it. I don't know what that was about, but.
you don't want, I want it. And
so our bunkie instantly tries to take her fucking lunch. You don't want it, I'll take it. Somebody's getting made into a bitch.
She's not big or anything. She just has a bottomless pit stomach where she just says she just can't get full. So anyway, she must have a high metabolism, I guess. Well, anyways, so I take one bite of the grits, and I'm like, not for me. I'll just do without. Take one bite of the pancakes. Maybe wound up taking one more bite of pancakes, and said, not for me. I thought, okay, well, I'll try the sausage. Can't be terrible. Well, was I wrong? Okay, so sausage patties, those Jimmy Dean frozen sausage patties are cheap, cheap, cheap. What the heck, You think, okay, Jimmy Dean sausage patty? Oh, but no. Some squished together something or another resembling the looks of a sausage patty. Definitely not sausage. I don't know what it was. But so that little taste went down and nothing else went. I said, y'all can have it. I don't want it.
That little taste went down, but nothing else went. It wasn't sausage.
So Jennifer, she was all happy about that because it's like she was getting 2 meals. And so we went up, had our chat time and our talking time. And in the meantime, I'm like, I got to be able to call out. So I did call collect to my mom, and she tried setting up where.
How'd you remember your mom's phone number? You couldn't remember it earlier. You had to call Todd.
I could call her and like money on my books kind of thing. And I'm thinking, I got money. They need to put my dang money on my account. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm definitely not gonna be able to call Bucky's collect. They're not going to accept my call, so I guess I'll just call later when they get the money on my books. Well.
Oh, yeah, she was supposed to go into work that evening at Bucky's, the gas station where she works.
In the meantime, there's these 2 kiosks.
I wonder if Bucky's knows what she does by day. She works there at night. I wonder if they know what she does during the day. Bucky's is a giant corporation. Like, it's not just like a mom and pop shop where they're like, yeah, I know, save the kids. This would be like Bucky's corporate office.
That you can get messages on. And so they show me, how all that works. And you can get text messages or emails or, correspondence, that kind of way. And you can check.
That's right,
Margie.
Margie.
Which couldn't order until Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So that's where y'all order your inmates order their stuff. So, and from the store, that's the only place you can get it. Deodorant, and it's just the bare necessities. But so, anyways, I'm relying on people that have their stuff and sharing it with me. So, something to be said about that. They went in there with nothing. They have to rely on people, their loved ones, their friends on the outside to put money
God, she's going to make this into a big deal because they gave her a fucking noodle cup
on their account so they can eat. You only get 2 meals a day. And I know people say, oh, well, you're in there for, bad stuff, or you're in there and you deserve this or you deserve that. Well, let me just tell you something. There's all walks of life in there, all different kinds of stories. So for anybody, and I'm telling you this right now, for anybody to make that kind of broad stroke that everybody deserves to be in there, you need to read.
That's right, Jim.
So, and mind you, one of the first things that they asked me, they said, did you just come out of quarantine? And I said, no. She goes, when did you get arrested? I said, I just got arrested and got booked and I came straight in here. And they're like, oh yeah, quarantine's over,
Quarantine's over. That's the God wink. By the way, thank you, Hatchie County. Oh, that's Mona. Thank you, Mona. Bevy G, Daisy, Tara Rose, Sky Moon, Vox Girl. Thank you guys very much for following the channel.
Over. And I was like, what? They said you were supposed to have gone to quarantine. Or
Mona, after you followed for 1 minute, you can chat. I see you in there. Thank you for following.
In the past, inmates were supposed to go to quarantine if you were arrested for however many days that they had on that time for quarantine. And that was in isolation for some people, I think, went for 2 weeks. Some people went for a week. Some, I don't know how many different ones that went different times. But so.
She has no idea. She has literally, she's like, some people went for a week. Some people went for 2 weeks. Some people went for all this time. She has no idea. It's quarantine. There is a set time that you're going to stay in that. It's still for COVID, I'm assuming. Like there's a set time that you're going to stay. Some people went for 1 day. Some people went for 2 weeks. Who knows? No, there was a set time. You just don't know. So you're making shit up.
God had me in there for a reason and had me bypass quarantine for a reason. And that was because of the stories that I was going to have to hear. Not have to hear, but that I was privileged to hear. And the people that God.
So she sent, just like, I don't remember who said this, but someone said that Trump is going to end up being arrested and go to jail because he needs to see what it's like in jail so he can fix the jail system. Like almost like an episode of Undercover Boss. That's what she's trying to allege here. Like, I had to go through this. I had to pass quarantine. I had to get arrested. This is part of it so I could save the kids.
Put in my path. And so after breakfast, you pretty much are just there. A lot of people do their devotions or, get showers, whatever. And let me just tell y'all, out of 8 cells, cell number 1 was out of commission. It was out of commission because the toilet was running non-stop and had been non-stop for Lord knows how long. And when I say running, when you flush that toilet in there, the whole flipping jail knows that toilet's flushed. It doesn't matter what.
And had been running non-stop, they said, for God only knows. Well, then they didn't tell you. You said they said. They didn't say it's been running non-stop for God only knows. They told you something, or they didn't tell you. You're just making that up, I guess.
Time of day or night it is. Everybody knows somebody's going to the bathroom. And, the first few times when I was asleep and other people in other cells, it'd wake you up, whatever. So I got used to that. But
a running toilet isn't going to be that noisy, Shelly. What are you trying to say here? If the toilet's running, it just wastes water, right? It's just constantly filling up and constantly draining, constantly filling up. You get a hot water bill.
Anyways, so a running toilet in a jail cell. So if all cells were full.
You weren't watching or listening because I was talking about all the people in chat wishing happy birthday. Liar.
And all bunks were occupied, minus that one cell. Somebody tell me what 4 times 7? Anybody?
They're not exactly mathematicians in the remnant room. 4 times 7? Anybody? So there's 1 jail cell closed. There's supposed to be 8. There's only 7 because the first room is closed. And there's 4 people for a room. And 4 times 7 is
20.
Anybody?
I was looking to see somebody put it on the wall.
28.
So
you got it.
28 inmates if all bunks were full. And there were some come and some went, in that process. So, but the maximum occupancy for Pod J, because of that number 1 cell being closed off, was 28.
But that's already a lie. she said earlier that there was only supposed to be 4 people per cell, but the cell that she was in, there was like 8 of them because they were overpacked. That's a lie. Like the lie from the lie you just told 5 minutes ago. 28, God's number.
There's a breaking news. Something about indictment of Trump. Did y'all see that just now? Or is that something that's already been happening? And I know y'all can't talk, and I want to raise hands right now just because.
Yeah, he had a pending indictment out of Georgia.
Yeah, just a parallel there, right? Just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. That's all.
So now she's asserting Trump's arrest to her arrest. Just a parallel there. Just a coincidence, right? Trump gets indicted. I go to jail for terroristic threats. Just a coincidence, right? Just a coincidence.
So anyway, so that was
this crazy bitch.
28 inmates in Pod J, because that one cell, number 1, J1, could not be occupied. So that's another going. And then it will be epic, he just said. Yes, it will, Trumpy. It will be epic. Yes, it will. So, and I don't want to miss out on any of these God winks, so that's why I'm trying to go through this meticulously. So you can hear God at work here and throughout all of this. So I know I was working.
I think she's making up about 90% of these.
And, people sending me messages, and I almost felt bad because when people get messages, it comes up on the screen, so everybody knows that you're getting messages, and every time it's, Mullinax, you got a message, across the whole comments area. And so I started to say, y'all need to call me Sam, but I didn't ever do that. But anyway, so that's kind of how things work. So it's, everybody knew it. But so that's how I was getting those emails and people letting me know. But at dinner,
she said, you all need to call me Sam, but I didn't say that. I guess her middle name is Ombre or some shit like that. Sam, Shelly, Ombre, Mullinax. But her middle name sometimes shows up as Gray. I don't fucking know.
This is how God works, y'all. This girl comes in, and it was her last day of quarantine. So she comes in as an inmate in the room directly below us, in the cell directly below us. And so everybody has, it's not assigned seats, but, we're all creature of habit. So certain groups sit together. So my room was like, okay, you need to sit here beside me. Everybody has their assigned areas. Just the way that they do it by their friends. You want to go sit like in the church pew. You don't want to go sit in somebody else's church pew, especially Baptist, because they're going to look at you like you're stupid. Even if you're a visitor, you're sitting in my seat, get up. That's kind of how, it is. So that's the way.
Just like church, you don't sit in the wrong spot. Well, even in her complaint, she's labeled, or even in her divorce, it's Shelly Gray Mullinax. All her paperwork is Shelly Gray Mullinax, but she lists herself as Shelly Ombre Mullinax. I don't know why, but I wouldn't think they'd put her maiden name on her fucking. Maybe she's got 2 middle names. Maybe. Anyways, just like church, you don't want to sit in the wrong pew, guys.
In jail too, so just so you know, there's a parallel there.
There's a parallel there.
Take it off my chest. So, yeah. So church goers, I'm not gonna call you Christians, but because anybody that would do that, you're not a Christian. That would look at somebody and tell them to get up out of their seat. That's your seat. I'll leave that there. So I'm sitting down beside Jenny, and she, kind of took me under her wing, and even though she's younger than me, which is a whole.
So she says every church is like this. You can't sit in somebody's seat. And then she's like, they'll say something to you. But anybody says that's not a real Christian. Okay.
Bigger story here I got to tell you about her. So I'm sitting there, and this girl that had just come in from quarantine.
So quick, spicy.
Sits down beside me. And so I introduced myself to her, and her name's Tessa. Well, Tessa just starts pouring her heart out to me, and I don't know why. I mean, because to hear her, she was, she puts, strong, resilient, and she is. And when I'm about to tell you, you'll understand why. But so anyways, in her time, she was trying to comfort me, which I was trying to comfort her. And, I mean, I wasn't sad, of course. I mean, but, no one in there, is jumping for joy. Well, this one girl is, but, that's a whole different story. I'll tell about that one too. So she starts telling me her story and about her being in isolation for, I think she said 7 or 10 days. And there were rats in that room, she said.
Yeah, there's no way to donate. I'm not a partner yet, so there's no way to donate here. You can subscribe here, just like Twitch. But to donate, just go to coldbeer.fund and use like Dono Clip or Buy Me a Coffee or whatever. Coldbeer.fund.
And this the way that they're treated, I don't know what happened, but she said she probably bought it on herself because she was being not really defiant, I guess you'd say that. So she kind of bought it on herself too, but that's what she said anyways. But anyway, she starts telling me about her story, and so I'm going to get to that because I really want y'all to hear this. So she starts off with, she was in there for on charges that her boyfriend had possession of marijuana, and she hadn't taken any or wasn't, but she got charged the same because she was in the same car with him and all that stuff. Well, that's not the story. What she told me next is what I want y'all to hear. She said, she said, I was born in to it.
There's also a panel below the video. If you close chat and scroll below the video, you can click that Meet Hammer Glasses, and it takes you to coldbeer.fund if you want to donate. I forgot I set up a panel. It's the only panel I got. You just click on the glasses down below the video, and it'll take you there. So, of course, this woman didn't do anything wrong. She didn't do anything wrong. Nothing at all. Except her boyfriend had possession, so she just got caught up in it. She's the only innocent person in jail.
This lifestyle. I was born in addiction. She said my mama was addicted.
All that stuff will come as the platform develops. Kick is going to have donations, donation alerts, all that stuff.
She didn't say what. I'm not going to speculate, but born into that lifestyle. A mama that wasn't there for her kids. Kids being brought up. And I say kids, it's her and her brother. She's the oldest. And she said that the system failed her. And I said, you know what? Society failed you.
Oh my God. I just found a Kick streaming extension for my animations. Oh my goodness. To run a poll, to use emote, have leaderboards, chat, polls, moderation, new followers, subscribers, gifted subscribers, stream hosted, chat message, chat update, chat cleared, chat message delete, poll created, poll updated, poll deleted, user banned, user unbanned. Oh man, we got to get this baby. Costs $3.99. Happily pay $3.99 for that. Whew. You guys keep talking amongst yourselves.
Your brother. And she said, you know, she said, my mama was never there for us. She said, I had to be there for my brother. I mean, they're only like 2 years apart. So, taken here, put there, pushed through the system, pushed through school, troubled teens. All they wanted was love. What they couldn't get from the people that supposedly they were.
So they didn't have no family. Both parents are addicts. They lived by themselves because they couldn't make it through and did other things. And she raised her brother. Now her brother's in jail for 25 years. It's horrible. Horrible story.
To get it from, right? And I said, oh, girl. But y'all, we failed so many kids like that. Parents have failed kids like that. And they get put into this vicious cycle. And she said, Shelly, I wanted to break that cycle, and I didn't want to be who my mama was and is. And she said that she was trying to always be the protector of her brother. And she said she feels like she failed him because he's 25 years old in prison with a sentence of life plus. An example of someone who never knew what love was, who was never given a chance, who didn't have a fighting chance at love. Because, you know, what do you do when you're hurting, when you want just your mama to love you or your daddy to love you? What do? You lash out. And, you know, you just look at how you can see that their kids, they don't know how to deal with their feelings, you know? So they lash out. They have pain. And so
the kids, they lash out.
They become who their parents are because that's the only lifestyle that they know. And, but Tessa wanted to be better than that. She wanted to be better. She didn't want to be in that lifestyle. She didn't want to be a product of that vicious cycle. And she has children of her own. The youngest is 2 years old. And I don't know when she's going to get out. She said she doesn't want her to see her kids. I mean, she doesn't want her kids to see her like that. You know, she can't do a video call because she doesn't want her kids to see her like that, you know? And she says, I'm not here. I shouldn't be here. And so pray for Tessa. And I told her, I said, the truth will set you free. You're going to be free. And so anyways, in her being tough, you could see just a little break in her because somebody was listening. And she said, because as she was talking, tears were streaming down my cheeks because I said, I know why I'm here. I know why I'm here. I know why God has me here.
She knows.
Story. And I said,
she knows.
You tell your story to a lot of people. You have a testimony that's going to help a lot of people. And so you just don't know it yet. And she said, and I mean, she was talking boldly, and she was just, you know, just talking, just straight out, God talking through her, you know. And she goes, you know what? She goes, I'm sorry I hurt your heart. She said, I didn't mean to. And you know, I'm sitting there, just tears just streaming down my cheeks, and I said, my heart hurts for you and for your brother because we as a society failed you. Your parents failed you, but we failed you. And because why? Because we turned a blind eye. Y'all, we turned a blind eye. Every one of us turned a blind eye. And we didn't take care of God's children like we should have. Somebody else will take care of them. The church. Yeah, where's the church? well,
Where is the church?
we just get the rich.
Terrible.
Richer. You know what? Send it from me. That's how we look at things. Wow, the kids are raising themselves because their parents are strung out on Lord knows what. You know, and so, but yet through her pain, I'm sitting there crying, and she's worried that she's hurt my heart. You know, so no, I said, no, your story's going to be told. It is her story to tell, but you have to know these just this little bit. There's so much more to her story that yes, she will tell. But you had to know I was there. So she just asked for us to pray for her brother because she said if I could, I would trade places with him. And she said, and I'm in here because she said she's never been there. She said, I'm in here so I can have an idea of what he's dealing with, what he's experiencing. And so I don't know what he's there for. I don't care why he's there. If he has done bad, he has done bad. And yes, he has to answer for that. But in some way, we are responsible for that. We are responsible. We let him down. We let so many kids down, you know? So, so yeah, so that was the big heavy story of the first on that Saturday. And so Sunday, yesterday, we're all talking about, oh, what are we going to get cereal? Or what are we going to get? What are we going to get for breakfast? And I'm like, oh, please no more of that nasty sausage. And so I'm like, well, what do y'all think? And so they're saying oatmeal. I was like, okay, I can probably do some oatmeal, which it was better than I thought. But I'm not a sweet and low person, and I don't really like just bland oatmeal. But you know, it feels a hollow stomach when nothing else is there. But then there was
Saint Shelly. That's exactly right. Saint Shelly. That's what she thinks she is. 100%. She is doing God's work.
Biscuit, sausage gravy, and eggs. So that was a nice little change. So it wasn't the best. And yes, inmates make that. And the gravy was not the creamy gravy, you know, that you get at your Bojangles or at your Cracker Barrel or, you know, at any of those places. It wasn't your 5-star hotel breakfasts, but, you know, it is what it is. You just close your eyes, open your mouth, and insert the thing. So I took about 3 or 4 bites of that, and I said, here you go. I did say some of it.
Close your eyes, open your mouth, and insert. Again, this reminds me of when me and Mariah first hooked up. Over and over again. It's little copulation winks.
For later, just in case I need to get a little bit hungry. But I gave it to my bunkie, and she was happy about that. She was enjoying my extra meals.
Breakfasts.
So we were kind of back and forth with, you know, each other. They were giving me, fixing me a cup of coffee, you know, instant coffee. And I didn't even have a cup to have my coffee. I had to borrow a cup from someone else. It was a little styrofoam cup, like I've been used 4 or 5 times. But, you know, hey, I just prayed, you know, God, take these germs away. You know, pray over the food, you know, Lord, I don't know what I'm ingesting, but, you know, may it nourish my body, right? So that's just when I looked at it. So,
Jesus Christ.
that was good, decent breakfast. But let me just tell you. So ramen noodles, for anybody who's not ever been in jail, ramen noodles are a staple. And let me count thy ways, how many different ways you can make ramen noodles and what concoctions you can put together to make all different kinds of entrees, let me tell you. Well, I hear there's a cookbook out there of a cookbook for ramen noodles, and it's like a jail inmate type recipes. I think that might come from.
Could you say ramen noodles? I'm really having a hard time with ramen noodles.
Okay.
We're calling them ramen noodles.
Okay, I guess it's in the South or it's wherever. I know ramen, whatever.
Raymond. Shut up. Hey, Ron. It's Raymond. Raymond noodles.
Well, ramen would be R-A-Y, so I guess it is ramen. Albert. It doesn't matter. Everybody knows ramen in that comedy show or something, whatever it is. Anyways, ramen. Whatever they are. I think they were calling them ramen noodles. Or they were saying noodles. They were just saying noodles.
Noodles, like a wet noodle. Like
yeah, wet noodle. You know, the spaghetti noodles. Wet noodles. Yeah, the wet noodles. That's what
Mom said, throw them against the fridge. If they stick, they're ready.
Yeah. Okay, so, well, we'll just call them noodles because that's what they call them. So we'll just call them noodles. So, and let me just tell you how they cook them. Well, you don't have a microwave, y'all. So the only way to cook them, which, by the way, I didn't tell y'all this, the only supply of water that I had was, toilet water. And when I say toilet water, you had the silvery, sparkly.
Wait a second. You made ramen noodles with water from the shitter? Is that what she's getting ready to climb? The only water I had was toilet water to make ramen noodles. Are you shitting me? No fucking way.
Toilet, and then behind it you have the sink, which is all connected into one. And in order to get your water, you press this little button, and it comes out the back of the toilet, the top into the sink. So it all is connected.
Comes out the back of the toilet. That's just called plumbing, Shelly. So what they're probably doing is they were recycling like water you would use from your sink. And they're probably using it to flush, but they're all made in one unit. But that's just plumbing. It comes from the same pipes, anyways, right? Like just because the sink's on top of the toilet doesn't change it from like where you would be in your house. It's just the sink's over here and the toilet's there. It's still plumbing.
So I call it toilet water. So that was my water supply, and because you don't get bottles of water, I mean you can order them on the kiosk, but I couldn't because I didn't have any. I wasn't able to, so I was having toilet water. I was like, okay, Lord, just cleanse this toilet water. And so So how you fix your ramen noodles?
Cleanses toilet water. She's got the only ramen noodles with peanuts and corn.
Oh, sorry, your noodles is you get the hot water and you fill up the bag, and then if you have a bowl, which I didn't have, I had to borrow a bowl and spoon. They make these little tasty, I mean, awesome delicacies of noodles of every which way you can make them. Putting Doritos in them, putting mayonnaise in them, putting ranch dressing in them.
Mayonnaise and ranch. No, I like to fix up my ramen noodles. Okay, I put instead of water we use milk. Like you obviously boiling water, but then after you drain it, we use milk instead of water, and then it's a little bit of sriracha, and then the chicken flavor packet, and it makes it pretty good. It makes it creamier than like just water. But damn, I don't know if I'll be putting mayonnaise in it.
I mean, all kinds of. I mean, they were delicious. I'm like, this is the best thing I've had the whole time I've been in here. You know, that was the first time I had was, I think Saturday night or Sunday night or afternoon. Anyways, I had 2 different times noodles. Made it 2 different ways. So just so y'all know, there's ways in which you learn those. I guess the longer you're there or whatever. But I mean, if I was there by myself or had be like,
I understand being in prison forever and ramen noodles is the only thing you got, and you'd basically put anything in them, including toilet water. But damn, Jupiter needs a guardian. Send him to Shelly.
On this island all by myself, learning how to do these types of things, I would just probably starve to death. So, anyways, just had to share that because those noodles, those wet noodles, were what sustained me because the food was less than desirable. So, you don't want to go to jail. And people there, innocent people are there. Not all people are guilty of what they've been charged. So, I'll leave that there. But, so Sunday night, we get in lockdown. That means you put in your cell and the door's locked. And so we're sitting there and we're talking, and Jennifer starts talking about these different situations that happened that she was having spiritual warfare. And she didn't know at the time, but this guy that she met, she said God just came over her and, she heard him say to her, tell him that God loves you. And she turned to him and she said, I don't know I'm supposed to say this, but I'm supposed to tell you that God loves you. And she said immediately his eyes turned black. And she said the demon came out in him, and she was in spiritual warfare right there. She said he started playing satanic music. He started repeated satanic music. He started screaming at her. He started doing all sorts of ritual stuff. And she said he took and burned the Bible in front of her. And she said he wrote these prayers to Satan. And
what? Wait a second. Who? What? Who? This is satanic panic at its finest.
I'm supposed to tell you that God loves you. And she said immediately his eyes turned black. And she said the demon came out in him, and she was, I'll just probably starve to death. So, anyways, just have to share that because those noodles, those wet noodles, were what sustained me because the food was less than desirable. So, you don't want to go to jail. And people there, innocent people are there. Not guilty.
This was all the first. Somebody says, how long has she been in there? She's almost bragging about how this is the first day. This is all still the first day. The first day. She's like, oh yeah, and I got 2 teardrops tattooed under my right eye. And I started hanging with the cholos. Like what the first day.
Of what they've been charged. So
let's see, this guy turns into a demon right in front of her eyes, or her bunky's eyes.
I'll leave that there. But so Sunday night we get in lockdown. That means you put in your cell and the door's locked. And so we're sitting there and we're talking, and Jennifer starts talking about these different situations that happened that she was having spiritual warfare. And she didn't know at the time, but this guy that she met, she said God just came over her, and she heard him say to her, tell him that God loves you. And she turned to him and she said, I don't know I'm supposed to say this, but
wait, a guard? Is that what she said?
Hold on. Situations that happened that she was having spiritual warfare, and what sustained me because the food was less than desirable.
Sorry.
You don't want to go to jail. And people there, innocent people are there. Not all people are guilty of what they've been charged. So
they're all innocent. Everybody in jail is innocent. She just said that one woman that just came out of quarantine that had been in and out of jail her whole fucking life, the only reason she was there is because her boyfriend had possession, and she got charged too.
I'll leave that there. But so Sunday night,
I think she's watched too much Orange is the New Black.
We get in lockdown. That means you put in your cell and the door's locked. And
There were a lot of titties in that. I'm a big fan of titties. I know this probably goes against the grain, and most people are like, take them or leave them. Huge fan of tits, right here. Huge fan of tits. I like to look at them. Sometimes I bat my eyes around like a tetherball, kind of like a cat with a ball of yarn, just going at them. Huge fan. I know a lot of people are like, what? You like tits? Yeah, I do.
So we're sitting there and we're talking, and Jennifer starts talking about these different situations that happened, that she was having spiritual warfare, and she didn't know at the time, but this guy that she met, she said God just came over her, and she heard him say to her, tell him that God loves you.
Just some random guy. So she's been having spiritual warfare, and she didn't know it at the time, but this guy that she just met, God told her, go over to her and tell her God loves you. These are like the creepy people at the gas station. They come up to you with like their shopping cart, and they're like, praise the Jesus, he loves you. Next time I'm gonna fucking make my eyes turn black and start scribbling shit and gasoline on the ground and then throw a match on it.
And she turned to him and she said, I don't know I'm supposed to say this, but I'm supposed to tell you that God loves you. And she said immediately his eyes turned black, and she said the demon came out in him, and she was in spiritual warfare right there. She said he started playing satanic music. He started repeated satanic music. He started screaming at her. He started doing all sorts of ritual stuff. And she said he took and burned the Bible in front of her. And she said he wrote these prayers to Satan. And he told her that he sold his soul to the devil at 7 years old. And
how much time transpired? Okay, so she meets this random guy out in the world where she could literally just walk away and leave. And she's like, God told me to say Jesus loves you. So I said, Jesus loves you. So then he started playing satanic music. He started repeating the satanic music. He started scribbling down satanic drawings. His eyes went completely black, all pupil. Then he burned an entire Bible in front of her. Then he told her his whole life story about how he sold his soul to the devil at 7. Why don't you just walk away? As soon as you said Jesus loves you, and he's like, fuck you, bitch, and cranks his music, why don't you just leave? Time passes differently in St. Shelly land, Town. That's right. Why don't you just fucking leave? How much time passed? If someone comes up to me, and if I'm just minding my own fucking business, not doing anything to anybody, not even speaking, and someone comes up and bothers me with their religion, they're probably going to catch some shit. Like, I don't care. Don't bug me. I'm not bugging you.
That's who he worshipped. And she said, I know what to do, Shelly. She goes, she said, I started, praying, and she was in her own spiritual battle right there. And she said, when he was burning the Bible, she said she picked up his prayers that he had written to Satan and went outside and burned them.
Oh, I forgot he wrote down prayers to Satan. And while he was burning the Bible, I gathered up his written Satan prayers, and I went outside and burned them. And then we came together and started a bonfire. And that's why I'm in here for arson, Shelly. I don't know what happened. Just in this couple's house, it's probably going to steal their TV. And then this whole, I had to burn Satan's prayers. Had to.
And they'll say she asked and prayed for God to get her out of that situation, and he did. He got her out of that situation. But she was a product of, I have nowhere to go. I have not, So when family turns their back on you, when you need them the most, what are you to do? Where are you to go? What happens to you? These are the people. I'm not saying that she went and sold herself. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you're left to pick up the pieces by yourself. You're left.
So when you run into an all-black demon guy who plays satanic music on repeat, burns the Bible, writes down his Satan prayers, tells you his life story about how he sold his soul to the devil at 7 years old, and burns your Bible, what do you do? What do you do? You're just left to pick up the non-satanic pieces? What do you do? That's how you end up in jail.
Feeling of abandonment, that no one wants you, right? So she said that she, went from house to house, friend to friend, things like that. And she said this whole time that she's felt like she's been battling, but she knew that God wasn't leaving her, no matter what she went through. She said, I still, didn't turn my back on God. She said, yeah, I questioned him a lot, but she never turned her back on him. And I told her right then, I said, you know why you went through all that you went through, right? And I said, and you know why we're right here talking right now at this time in this.
Shelly, do you know when someone's just lying to you? Or when maybe they also have a mental illness just like yours? There is no way that a woman by herself is going to walk up to a man and say, Jesus loves you. And then he does some whatever out of pocket shit that she's just going to hang out long enough for him to do several things that clearly take minutes. Burning the Bible, writing down satanic prayers, playing satanic music on loop, telling a life story. The woman's going to run away. Are you crazy? This is a lie. This isn't real. I saw you said that's a couple times that Gray's her middle name.
Moment.
Or her maiden
and the
name.
battles that you have faced is because we're in spiritual warfare. And she said, Shelly, I know what she said. There's things that happen throughout these last couple of years. She said, it's awful. She said, everywhere you look in this town, it's evil, evil, evil. She said, this ground is cursed. And I said, it absolutely is. And I said, I believe it goes all the way back to the Indians, way back, probably even further than that. I said, but you don't treat a society the way that you do. Not that we did. I did. I don't, but in the ground, not be cursed. And so I said, I see it. I said, but it's everywhere. It's not just here. I said, it's everywhere. I said, I believe they've been released for this time. I believe the demons have been released to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what they're out for, to do what they can do to take out God's children. And I said, and this is spiritual war. And I said, it's not against another country. It's not against another
spiritual war.
It's not against a political party. I said, it's good versus evil. And that's it. And I said, they're out to get our kids.
And it just so happens that all the Democrats are evil and all the Republicans that agree with Trump are all good. But that has nothing to do with the political party. That has nothing to do with it. Nothing.
And they're trying to take as many people to hell with them as they can.
The ground's cursed. That's why we got all these demons running around.
I said, but you know what?
The last several women I met on Plenty of Fish were like that. It was like they were taken over by an entity, possessed. I tried to beat the demon out of them from the inside. Not as easy as it sounds.
The churches haven't equipped us in the way that we should be equipped to be able to rebuke and fight the demons. I said, but God's children know it's instilled within. She goes, I know, I've been taught, how to rebuke the devil. She said, all I need is pray. I said, yeah, in Jesus' name, and Jesus Christ's name. And so, anyways, we were just having church, and she's like, children.
Yeshua.
She said, and tears in her eyes, and she said, God, no. She goes, I know this is divine. She goes, I know it's a divine appointment. And I said, absolutely is.
She knows it's divine appointment.
And so,
what else could it possibly be?
Who was there was only two in there when I went in, and Shelby came in as the last, so there were four of us. So Shelby, 30 years old, never been married, no children, and
literally, she was in jail for 2 days, and her story's like 4 hours. Just in case you're wondering, like even if she didn't sleep, 1 out of every 8 minutes was interesting enough for her to talk about.
She came in and she was coming down off of something, I don't know what, but that doesn't matter. The story to be told is her story to tell, but I believe she's a product of the same thing that Tessa is. And she didn't go into detail, I don't have to know. But I know that she's a good girl. I know that, and I say girl because she's close to Lacey's age, so, she's a girl to me. She's my girl. She's like my girl's age. Society let her down. Whether it be through vaccination, that she has this mental challenge, or not challenge, I won't say challenge because she's a smart girl. It's not Tourette's, but it's something similar to that. And she acknowledges it, And so whatever she was in there for, I don't know the whole situation, but I know it was a probation violation was this time. But I know that God brought her there to be in that room at that moment. Because out of nowhere, she started singing a Michael Jackson song.
Oh my God, out of nowhere.
I think of it right now to tell you what's it made in the...
I can't think of the song, but there you go. It was a Michael Jackson song, even though I can't think of it. Even though I can't think of it right now, I promise it was a Michael Jackson. I promise. I can't think of it right now. I don't know what it is right now, but I promise it was a Michael Jackson song, and it was amazing. Amazing. And we all know who Michael Jackson is, right? He's one of the Kennedys, one of the illegitimate black Kennedys. Duh.
Mirror, I would have probably passed out if I thought it was Man in the Mirror, but no, it was something that was Michael Jackson. And she has a beautiful voice. And so she stopped singing, and then I said, Michael Jackson.
She has a beautiful voice.
I said, what if I told you he was alive? She said, what?
how many inmates you think were requesting solitary confinement? We're thinking about murdering a motherfucker. They're in county jail. They'll probably get out in a week, but they're thinking, man, one more day with this bitch, I might have to shank a motherfucker. Oh, please. When she told them that quarantine was over, they're thinking, God damn it, I was gonna have a cough or fake a cold. I got you, Sky Moon. You're good. That was just some wild videos. I had anxiety about them all night. That cave shit freaks me out. Two Wolves, which is a YouTube subscriber. I don't think he really ventures to the other platforms, or at least I don't know his name on the other platforms. He was saying, like, he's Native American or whatever, and he was saying, like, his family, like, there's a cave that his family knows. It's like a family cave, I guess, and they have safety equipment. They go in. They even use glow-in-the-dark paint to, like, paint the way to, like, different trails and shit. But he was talking about, if you go look at the YouTube comments from last night, he knew a lot about it.
And I said, yeah, what if I told you he's alive? And all the time at the Holy Spirit. That's what I'm going to call him. Start calling it God bumps because it is. I mean, it's the Holy Spirit, you know.
Shelly, I don't know if you know this or not, but there are drugs. Not this homeopathic, God gave us the plants and that's all I need. There are real drugs in jail. You could have found something that not only would make you feel pretty damn good, but may have treated whatever ailment you have. There's like real drugs in jail. If you didn't sound so much like a snitch, I bet you they'd offered you something.
Going all up and down, you know. And so I started telling her, you know, about the plan, about what's been happening, and about how God's army, and about Gone with the Wind, and about how they wanted us to believe a lie that he was some child molester and some evil person. And she goes, oh, I knew he wasn't that.
I knew he wasn't
He's
that.
alive, Shelby.
I knew he just liked sleeping with kids in his bed after he paid their parents, hundreds of thousands of dollars for them to spend the night, just because he was a kid at heart. Basically, he was a kid at heart. He had a kid's heart and a kid on the tip of his penis.
And I said, Junior's alive, JFK Junior, which she's really too young to really know who that is, but I told her.
JFK Jr.'s alive too. Who that? Who is that? Who's you mean like the guy that got shot in Dallas? He's alive? Well, him too. I talk to him sometimes on Telegram, but I'm talking about his son.
And I said, Elvis is alive. I said, no, you don't think that's crazy. Oh, he's old. He's dead. I said, no, he's alive.
Oh, he's old. He's dead. Nope. They put him in a med bed. Yep, just like Walt Disney. Froze him up.
And so I'm you know, she's 30, so, you know, to say someone like that's come back from the dead, you know, she didn't believe it. Anyways, and as I was saying that, Jennifer.
She didn't believe, but anyways, did you notice how she slipped that in there? She didn't believe it, but anyways, I said, Jennifer, you know, God damn, she's in the jail. She's in the penal system, making new cucumbers.
Hollers at me. She goes, is Prince alive? And I said, yes, Prince is alive. And she said, I knew it. She said, somebody told me. She said, it's probably been 5 or 6 years ago. She said, told me that Prince was alive. And she said, I've heard these same stories you're telling me. And she said, people to hear that person talk, she was saying some far out things. She said, but she was saying they were alive. And she said, you're telling me they're alive now? She goes, I believe it. I believe they're alive.
I believe it. I believe they're alive. Can I have your tray tomorrow? I believe it. Everything you say, I believe it. Also, you probably don't want breakfast either, do you? This is the same person that she was giving all of her food to after taking one bite. And a self-acclaimed bottomless pit can never get full. And suddenly she agrees with all your positions? Wow.
And I said, they are. I said, they're alive. And I said, they've been fighting evil. I said, they've been fighting this fight for a long time.
Yeah, what they are is they're like a young group of kids. There's a monkey, too, for some reason. But they each have a ring on. One is like fire, wind, water, heart. And with their powers combined, they form Captain Trumpet. And Captain Trumpet, he's our hero. He's going to bring the Democrats down to zero. Evildoers and blood drinkers are not going to know what hit them. Okay? Earth, wind, fire, heart. That's yeah. Prince is actually earth. You think that he'd be water because purple rain. He's not. He's earth.
And I said, God wins. And
God wins. I agree with you. By the way, this food is disgusting. Can I have yours?
and I said, Shelby, I said, I got to ask you this question. I said, do you know Jesus Christ? And she said, yeah.
It's kind of weird you called her Shelby because her name's Jennifer. So that was strange. Why'd you just change her name in the middle of the story? You've called her Jennifer 115 times in the last hour and a half. Then you're like, Shelby, do you know God's real? It's Princess Purple Rain. This pussy so good, I scream my own name. It's Princess Purple Rain.
I said, you have a relationship with him? She said, yeah. I said, I just want you to know something. I said, none of us are perfect. And things we've done, you know, we're not where we were, but we're not where we want to be. So we're always...
Yeah, that's basically everybody in the world. We're not where we were because that's past tense. And we're not where we want to be because clearly we have a goal left in life. That's basically everybody.
Improving. We always can choose to do good. I said, so look forward, look ahead. And I said, in each choice, choose good. I said, because he loves you. No matter how broken you are, he loves you. And I knew by talking to Jennifer and Jenny, they, you know, they had a relationship, but they, you know, they said, you know, we're not perfect, and, you know, we don't go to church because, you know, we don't want to be judged. And that's what Jennifer would say, or some of the other women would say when we were having that prayer, you know, and stuff. And I said, you know, we're having church right here, you know. And
there we are. We're right at church right now.
That none of us are perfect. But he didn't come here, you know, for the righteous. He came here for the sinners. You know, and so that girl, I believe, I know through our prayers, through God's intervention, that she is going to be a changed woman when she leaves there.
Yeah, everybody comes out of jail changes
just
instantly.
It was just for her. It was worth it. But God blessed me through that entire time I was there. No matter where I turned, and there was a story, and they blessed me. And so everybody knew that I had court today and first appearance, you know, and everybody, you know, pat me on the back the night before, last night, and tell me, you know, everything's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be all right, you know.
One day in jail. She's converted everybody. I don't even know that there would be somebody that could possibly be not converted at this point. It's amazing. It's amazing what God does through Shelly. There's storms. The jail cells are just going to magically open. Awesome.
I wasn't crying. I wasn't, you know, wasn't upset. I wasn't, you know.
And then she was swallowed up by a whale, and where she just hung out for 3 days because she didn't want to go where God told her to go. And then the whale just spits her out right where she was supposed to be all along.
Anything, you know, and because I knew I was there. I knew I had to hear those stories. I knew if it was just for one person, it was worth it, you know. And so, God.
That makes perfect sense. When I came out of jail, I stopped burning churches and eating babies instantly. Well, that's what happens. You were probably in there with one of the chosen ones. Did they ever take all the letters in your name and add them up?
I'm crying because I'm so blessed, y'all. I'm so blessed. And so,
I'm crying because I'm blessed. I'm just crying my eyes out because everything's so good. I swear.
After we got through talking and after I asked Shelby about that, you know, couldn't sleep, I was like on the spiritual high, you know. And so they laid down and so Jennifer had given me a writing pad, paper, and a pen, pencil, the simplest things, you know, I didn't have anything to write with. I had to rely on them for everything, right? So.
Oh my God, how's she going to do her calculations? I bet you she heard so many names and so many conversations that she wanted to decode. And she's like, oh my God, I can't do basic math.
I had this pencil that was like 2 inches long, sharpened on both ends, you know, trying to write with a 2-inch pencil. Just try that, you know, for a very long time. But I told him, I said, which I had.
Yeah, try playing golf. They have the tiniest pencils in the world. Are you shitting me, Shelly? Golf is the game of hardships. And so you shall.
I felt really bad, by taking, because they shared with me their food that put them short. They don't get their food till Thursday, I felt really bad about that, but they did it. They wanted to give me what they had because that's the right thing to do, And so,
Yeah, you gave him a little bussy, didn't you? Nothing's for free in jail, Shelly. Yep. I saw a guy suck some other guy's dick in jail for a payday and a single can of Mountain Dew. A payday, literally the worst candy bar in the world, and a can of Mountain Dew.
They were giving the shirt off their backs, literally, for me. And so, so what can I do for them? So I called my mama earlier that day, Saturday, I guess it was, maybe yesterday, but I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. And I called Mama and I said, Mom, I want you to go on jailatm.com and I want you to order a box of noodles. It's like this little package of different noodles.
And just leave them to the ladies and in J Block.
They get little combo packs. So I want you to order one for each one of them and a coffee pack because I was drinking coffee too. So I want you to do that for them.
One pack of noodles. She's like, I'm feeling generous. Mom, would you go to jailatm.com and order a single pack of noodles for each one of the 4 people in my cell and one serving of coffee that they can split amongst them? Thank you.
I said, if I'm here or not, I said, they'll share with me. I said, so just put it in their name. And those that helped me, I did that for them, because that's what you do. You pay it forward.
Imagine this amazing blessing that she had. Imagine if there was like a way for her to, like, without being arrested, just go there and minister to these ladies. Like some type of great off-the-wall program to where you could literally volunteer to, like, maybe once or twice a week go to the jail without being arrested. Like you're not in a jumpsuit. You're not in jail. You don't have to make any terroristic threats. You could just go there and speak with them about getting their life back on track. Wouldn't that be fucking wild if there was something you could do like that? Like you could just go to a place where people are incarcerated without having to be incarcerated yourself and possibly just talk to the people there about maybe having a better life. That's fucking mega brain over here. I just invented a new thing. What should we call it? Jail to gematria. A 5-step program. I think that's what I'll call it.
They helped me, and that's what I was to do, was to help them. Some of them didn't have any money.
Shelly, shut the fuck up, bitch. You got them 1.39 pack of noodles. I bought those noodles. They're not that expensive, okay? And one serving of coffee. I'm just going to tell you, God laid it on my heart to donate 73 cents to each one of those women. Yeah, I know. We got money. You can't hide it.
Even buy it.
You can try. I've stuffed my mattress. The wall's full. I put some offshore bank accounts. But this is the time I thought, yep, 73 cents per inmate. 4 inmates. Baller.
From the store, much less to get that box sent to them. So, and you're only limited to 2 boxes, which is bullcrap. If people want to give money and stuff for them, they should be allowed to do so, I mean, they're human beings. Yes, they've done wrong in some
Yeah, you dumb bitch. The store doesn't stock an infinite amount of items. The reason they limit it to 2 boxes per week is because someone would go in there and buy all the boxes, and then they would use that as currency, trading for favors or for money that's owed or for sexual favors. Yeah, that's the reason they're still humans. What don't you understand about they will literally perform sexual acts for noodles? Are they humans?
Deserve eternal punishment for the things that they do to children. But not everybody deserves that, Not everybody deserves that. Sex offenders, yes. And those wrongly accused don't deserve it.
Murdered your entire family. They don't deserve that. Sex offenders? Hell yeah! Lock them up! Make terroristic threats to the U.S. Marshals? Nah. Nope.
But those that are guilty do deserve it. And so, anyway, just at the beginning that, and I told him, I said, there's no way I can give y'all money, but I can give y'all this, right? So I did that, and it's supposed to be coming, but they won't get it till Thursday. But so they got to make do, till then, because they chose to share it with me.
No noodles for you.
Because that's what friends do, right? That's what real friends do. That's what real friends do. They didn't know me from Adam, but that's what real friends do.
This is somebody fucking clout sharking so hard. Somebody just said in chat, she didn't give a fuck about these people that she was in jail with them. She's like, oh my God, I did so much to help them. And I brought them to the Lord, and we had church, even though it wasn't the church day. And I told them Michael Jackson and JFK Jr. and Elvis are still alive. And then I bought them some noodles on the way out. One pack of noodles. If you really cared about those people, you would have stuck some shit up your prison wallet. You got 2 prison wallets on your specific model. Could have went up in there with some good shit. Next time you get arrested, shove your pussy full of $100 bills, and you'll be the favorite in jail. Hell, Phil might donate them. He was going to donate to veterans and orphans one time, but it just so happened that before he made that announcement, they shut down his fundraiser.
So, so I'm sitting there and I can't sleep this morning. We talked about midnight, I guess. Lights out, or lockdown's at 11. So, so when I went to sleep, I couldn't sleep, and so though I had taken one of their books, and which y'all, I need to get my notes so you can see. I talked for days on the blessings that God had did before me, but the notes that I took are notes that only you wouldn't believe unless I had taken them down, because there were just so many God winks, And so, in one of the books that
God winks, but he uses he winks, not the one that winks, the one that stinks, the old pussy wink.
Was imitate the people of the Bible, meaning the stories of the Bible. And yep, lo and behold, there's the Esther story. And
did you just call it a johnner? That johnner? Hey, give me some of that johnner, pretty lady. I'm gonna get some Mariah's johnner.
Not only was it just the story,
johnner.
it was the chapter.
That's
the book.
funny.
It was the page in which it was written. So, the story of Esther in this particular book started on
Now she has to clarify several times she's not calling herself Esther, but she kind of is.
Chapter 15. And it was on page 125. Golden ticket 125.
Sometimes I tell Mariah, let me hold them taters. And she knows what's going on. She knows what's happening. Well, considering I got my birthday sex 2 weeks late, I think you can have yours tonight, Mariah.
And the title of Esther's story was She Stood Up for God's People. Okay, so I'm not claiming to be Esther, okay? I'm just saying that these messages were for me. This book that was written and given to Jenny, out of all the books she had that she had collected, she handed me this book. So I'm just going to give you just a few highlights of the things that shone out with me, or God's through the story. There was a death sentence on God's people. And the next statement just kind of just pierced my heart. Is that when it reached far off Jerusalem, there were a remnant of God's people that was struggling to rebuild a city. There was a remnant of God's people that was struggling to rebuild a city. And of course, remnant. I can't imagine why that word was there. Can you? So,
Phil run a pretty successful jail grift. He had other people posting for him and stuff. Everybody's waiting on him to get out. It was amazing.
Then it goes on, and this comes from Esther. These highlighted verses were Esther 4:11, 4:11, and Esther 5:1, 51. Just a coincidence, right? Mordecai, which everybody knows the story, implored Esther to intercede with the king to stand up. There's that word. 2 words, stand up for her people, for her own people. Came from Esther 4:4-8, 48.
Amazing.
The next thing, it was actually in quotation marks, her greatest test of faith. The next statement in quotations, a faith stronger A faith stronger
Damn
than
it,
the
she's
fear of
crying
death.
again.
A simple message of faith and courage. Esther 4:15 through 17. Esther had taken a stand for God and for her people, setting a beautiful example of faith for all servants of God all through time. Jesus said that his genuine followers would be marked by self-sacrificing love. John 13:34 and 35. But don't stop there. Chapter 16. Page 135. The title of it was A Time to Speak. King had immense wealth and power that was equivalent to hundreds of millions of dollars. The next statement in quotations was, "For everything there is an appointed time, a time to be quiet and a time to speak." This very scripture was a scripture that Jenny gave me, not knowing anything, when I came into the jail cell with her. Ecclesiastes 3 is where that came from. Patience, these are just notes that I took. Patience is a rare and precious quality. Esther patiently waited for the right moment. We can learn much from her example. For all of us have likely seen wrong. Listen, y'all. For all of us have likely seen wrongs that need to be put right. If we seek to convince someone in authority to address
If I put Mariah's face in the pillow for more than a couple minutes, she falls asleep.
the problem, we
So be careful.
need
That's
to
why I put her in the
imitate Esther
corner.
and be patient. By patience, a command is induced, and a mild tongue itself can break a bone. If we wait patiently for the right moment and speak mildly as Esther did, even opposition as hard as bone may be broken. In this chapter, on page 132, is where those words can be found in quotations on page 132. Esther risked her own life to protect God's people. Patience paves the way for justice. Esther's patience paved the way for a remarkable chain of events. Esther 5:12 through 14.
Jailhouse scissors.
And I won't read the whole story about that, but
In jail, we don't run with scissors. We come with scissors. Oh my God, I just backed up. Holy fuck, I misclicked. See where we're at.
the next statement in quotations, a faith stronger.
Did I instantly just find it?
A faith stronger than the
I'm
fear
so
of
good at
death.
this.
A simple message of faith and courage. Esther 4:15 through 17.
We can get out of the Bible, Esther.
The title of it was A Time to Speak.
How long was Esther incarcerated?
The king had immense wealth and power that was equivalent, is where that came from, to hundreds of millions of dollars. The next statement in quotations was, "For everything there is an appointed time, a time to be quiet and a time to speak." This very scripture was a scripture that Jenny gave me, not knowing anything, when I came into the jail cell with her. Ecclesiastes 3 is where that came from. Patience, these are just notes that I took. Patience is a rare and precious quality. Esther patiently waited for the right moment. We can learn much from her example. For all of us have likely seen wrongs. Listen, y'all. For all of us have likely seen wrongs that need to be put right.
Shut up, Shelly. Wrongs that need to be... That's why you were in jail. For everything, there's a season and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal and a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
If we seek to convince someone in authority to address a problem, we may need to imitate Esther and be patient. By patience, a command is induced, and a mild tongue itself can break a bone. If we wait patiently for the right moment and speak mildly as Esther did, even opposition as hard as bone may be broken.
Ooh.
In this chapter, on page 132, is where those words can be found in quotations on page 132.
She found out that there's a time that a pussy can be torn asunder.
Esther risked her own life to protect God's people.
I'm skipping, by the way.
And I won't read the whole story about that.
Okay.
But you need to read the book of Esther and really find out what happened.
I'd read them all. That's called the Bible.
And the punishment that ensued. Evil.
Evil.
So the next statement was she spoke up bravely. She had to tell. She had to tell all. Esther.
We got to get more donations so I can scream
Esther's time to
pancakes
speak
more
had
often.
come. If I found favor in your eyes, O king, and to the king it does seem good, let there be given me my own soul at my petition, and my people at my request.
Shut up, Mariah. You've had a pussy torn asunder.
Somehow there was a statement, I don't know what, but I have it underlined. Protect her from a danger to her own life. The next quotation that I wrote down was, we have been sold, I and my people, to be...
You know the old verse. And thou hath the reverse cowgirl, but thou dost not finish before they turn around and lay those jubblies in his face. That is, that's John 69.
Alienated, killed, and destroyed. And in this very book, it says, Esther exposed the problem. If you ever need to lay bare a serious problem to a loved one or even to a person in authority,
That was Jesus
combination of
Christ.
patience,
You're right, Mariah.
respect,
That was him
and
speaking.
candor can be
It's
of
the
great
red
help.
letters.
Proverbs 21, 20.
The red letters.
The man,
That means the man speaking.
the adversary, the enemy, is this bad. The next chapter, because that was chapter 16, was chapter 17 on page 145.
I was attacked by a demon before too. No lie. For some reason, they get mad as hell when the roofies wear off. Like, I didn't agree to this. What did you put in my drink? It's take a Plan B muffin and chill the fuck out, lady.
And it was
Tell them, Mariah, how upset you got.
the title of it. I'm not going to go into all the details of it, but it says, "Look, Jehovah's slave girl." And I'll just go to the bottom of the page. Sometimes God asks us to do what many seem difficult, even impossible, in our eyes. However, in His world, He gives us ample reasons to trust Him, to place ourselves in the hands.
It was actually John the Baker. John the Baker and the Bastard Maker.
As Mary did. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6.
Blueberry, because the pill's usually blue, and I found out you can't crush it up because you can't trust them to eat the entire muffin. So you put the little blue Plan B pill right in the top as if it was a blueberry, because everybody eats the muffin top. They might throw away the bottom, but they'll eat the top.
I need to say this. This was part of Esther's that I missed. Esther had to take on her very young shoulders her share of very heavy burdens, such as royal edict involving war and execution. But God's will required that His people be protected from destruction.
Am I gonna have to skip again, Shelly? You might sleep through it, but I'm gonna mash that small intestine flat.
The nation of Israel was to produce them with drugs and punishment, not taking their circumstances into consideration. It is puzzle 17.
Puzzle 17.
That you could have tore out to give to me was puzzle 17.
Oh, hold on. I need to back up. You are going to hear this.
So you know. Oh.
We're at 159. Okay.
I sat back down and she goes here. She said, I'm gonna just tear this out and give it to you. That way you'll have them with drugs and punishment, not taking their circumstances into consideration. We failed our children. and Tessa had someone had lent her one of those word search books, and she was like,
So someone had lent her Bunky, had let them borrow a word search book. Like you could get multiple word searches out of it after you circle the fucking word. Had lent her a word search book. And she's like, fuck it, it's not my property. Here, I'll rip a page out for you.
I know you don't have anything in here, to read. And she said, this is not my book, but if it were my book, I would tear you out a page and let you have one of these, because I know it helps pass the time in here and everything. And so we talked on a little bit, and she sat back down, and she goes, here. She said, I'm gonna just tear this out and give it to you. That way you'll have it. She said she won't want to know. And so she tore it out, folded it up.
She won't never know. That bitch is probably getting shanked right now for tearing a page out of the puzzle book and giving it to you. You feel good about that? You feel good about that, Shelly Belly?
And said, here, put it up and do it when you get in your room. I said, okay. And she said, but she won't mind. And so, anyways, so she.
Oh my God, when they all started doing the Lord's Prayer at the same time, that was terrifying. I mean, not that it affects me. Clearly, I'm not a demon. But wasn't that was like some Children of the Corn shit. Or like, what's that movie where the preacher thinks that he's exorcising a demon from a little girl, but he thinks she's faking it. And then he thinks she's actually being sexually assaulted by her dad. And he tries to get her out there, but it's actually real. And she's like, how about, the reason he thinks it's fake is because she goes, how about a blowing job, preacher? And he goes, what'd you say? And she's like, a blowing job. And he's like, you don't know what you're talking about, do you? He thinks it's fake. Mariah gets mad because I look at her all the time and I'll go, how about a blowing job, preacher? And she's like, stop it, William, that's creepy. She gets so mad. That's what it was like. The fucking chants and shit they do out in the woods and the Ring of Fire. How about a blowing job, preacher?
He tore that out and gave it to me, and I get up to my mat on the floor and my blanket, and I sit down and I'm going to start to do this word search that she gave me. And I open it up, and I kid you not, it is puzzle 17. Out of all the pages in the book that she could have tore out to give to me.
It was page 17. The puzzle was page 17. Her microphone's made out of Bibles. Her microphone's made out, it keeps the evil voices out.
So, oh, well, I can't finish. I can't stop there. So, just another God wink. So, I'll bring it to today. So, I get up and get my shower.
Another God wink.
And yes, I took 2 showers while I was there. You just do what you gotta do, right? So,
what would be wrong with taking a shower, Shelly? Are you afraid everybody's going to see your gastric sleeve scar? What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I took 2 showers while I was there. You got to do what you got to do. The last exorcism, you're right. You want a blowing job, preacher?
So
he's like a scammer. Like when he would put their feet in water, he'd drop like Alka-Seltzers in there. And he'd do like things like shock them, and he'd make them look like they were possessed. And then he was just to become famous, right? Isn't that the storyline? And then some weird stuff starts happening to this girl, and he believes it's real for a little bit because he's not scamming and stuff's really happening. And then when she says that line, he thinks she's being sexually abused. And then he tries to come back, and it really is a real thing. They're having a seance in the woods and everything.
I had to have the same clothes put back on, but at least I had a shower. And I need to look good and smell good for the judge. And so they said, oh, you just go before a computer screen and they'll set your bond, whatever. And bond was, I wasn't supposed to go before the judge till 2 o'clock. And so we had breakfast, and today's breakfast was
little God wink.
Cereal. Well, they want to call it bologna, but I don't know what that processed stuff was, but it wasn't bologna.
Cereal and mystery meat bologna for breakfast. Cereal and mystery meat bologna for breakfast. You want a blowing job, preacher?
I don't know what it was, but it was not bologna, so I didn't eat it. And
that line really bothers Mariah. If you want to harass her in chat, just ask her if she wants a blowing job, preacher.
So cereal, bologna, and a biscuit maybe or something. I just ate cereal or some of the cereal, not all of it, some of it. So anyways, everybody knew in my pod that I was going before the judge, and so everybody was telling me, good luck, and they're praying for me and giving me hugs, and just showing me love, more than my family.
My homies show me love.
My aunt and my mom and y'all, of course. My real blood.
My real bloods.
Didn't. So I
my real relatives, my aunt and my mom, they didn't even wish me good luck in my court appearance while in the jail cell. You already said your mom was buying fucking noodles for the girls. What did they not do? They were patting me on the back, telling me to get my real blood relatives didn't. My mom and my aunt. I preached her.
I wasn't nervous at all. And they called over the intercom
Sorta.
early at 11:55. Shelly Mullinax, first, whatever, I forgot what it's called now. Anyways, go before the judge, whatever. And so I go down there. And everybody's telling me, you know, you're gonna get bail. You're gonna get bail.
That's right, Chris Ann.
Whatever. And everything's gonna work out. Everything's gonna be okay. You know, God's got this. Inmates, y'all.
Inmates, y'all. They said everything's going to work out. You'll probably get out today. God's got this. And it wasn't because I'd been talking about God nonstop since I got there, except for the few seconds I talked about Michael Jackson. It was because they knew God had showed them that I was a disciple of God. No, they're just repeating shit you want to hear. You keep giving them food and buying them shit. You told them, I called my mom and I told her to start buying you free shit. Yeah, they're just going to tell you what. God damn.
Inmates having more faith in God than some people sitting in the church pews today. People who want to say they're Christians. People who turn and look away in disgust if somebody, like some of those women were in that room, would walk into a church.
Mariah asked me what I got her for her birthday. It's a surprise, but I'll tell you guys. 9.5 inches of summer sausage. 1 serving.
They have more faith than those people sitting in those pews. They have more compassion than people sitting in those pews. They have more mercy and more grace than those people sitting in those pews. At my own.
God, who hasn't heard this before? The people in jail are better than the people in church. I've met people tattooed from head to toe that cared more about you than someone sitting on the front row.
Church. At my own church. I got a bigger story I want to tell you after all this. I'll say a bigger story. Just a, icing on the cake, actually. But, so I go before the judge. And he sits.
Her church doesn't want her because look at what a press nightmare. They're afraid that she's been featured in national fucking headlines. They're afraid that they're going to get caught up in the same thing and they're going to get a bunch of bad press for it.
Bond. And
plus, she's probably cussed them all out and said that they don't really worship the real God and they're trading babies in the basement, whatever.
I'll leave and come back and I'm all.
Babe, I'm not a famous YouTuber yet. We can't afford fucking Botox.
Relieved, call my mom and take the necessary steps. And I was just sit and wait. Well, 1:40 comes along. Shelly Mullinax, come for your first appearance, whatever. I'm like, what? I've already been.
Again? A second first appearance?
So I'm like, okay, what's this all about? Which, mind you, when I went before the judge, I was the only inmate. I'm an inmate, I got a number. I was the only inmate in there. I was in there with the judge.
Because, okay, let me explain why she's the only inmate in there and not someone off the street just in handcuffs. Because she came in on a weekend when she couldn't see the judge until Monday. If you get arrested during business hours, a lot of times they'll take you before the judge almost immediately. Like, a lot of times you won't even change out of your street clothes because you might get fucking dismissed or thrown out or released on your own recognition or whatever it's called, recognizance. Yeah, of course, she hasn't been to her first appearance. They're not going to take somebody that's been there for 6 weeks and have their first appearance now. You just got there.
You should call her clerk, whatever you want to call her. And 2, I guess, prisoner guards. Inmate guards, whatever you want to call them. I don't know, whatever they're called.
All of her followers are going to be trying to get thrown in jail, Sky Moon.
Jail mates, whatever. I don't know what they're called. Anyways, doesn't matter. And me. So, just for that to be on record, that's what happened. And so anyways, when they called me again, I was like, what is that all about? Well, they never kind of got me, so I was like, I mashed the button. I said, what is all that about? And I asked them, and they said, oh, well, they said you already went. So I went back upstairs and went to sleep. Waited on, because I didn't sleep very good. Waited on the call, and when I got the call, y'all, runs. When I got the call, Shelly Mullinax, pack your things. You could hear it out in the comments. They were cheering for me. They were
Cheering.
happy. They were happy for me.
I wish I could say Shelly Mullinax fought the good fight. I wish I could say it. The sisters had their way with her. One broken broomstick later, for several weeks, she was a shell of a man. Shelly got Shawshank 266.
Where are my friends? Where are my friends? Friends that's known me for my whole life. Where are my family? That's known me my whole life. Hang on just a minute.
That's right. Shelly, all these crazy nut jobs do. They either think that they're the main character or the people they're following. Like, everybody thinks that Phil is the main character in a spy novel, that they're just watching play out in front of them, and he just tells them all about it.
People that...
You guys ever seen the Shawshank Redemption, where they corner Andy Dufresne? They fuck him with a broomstick. That was Shelly's jail experience. The Shelly Skank Redemption.
Have been there. Jenny has been there for at least 14 months. Many of them in there have been there months and months and months.
Jenny's been in there for 14 months. But her only crime, she was in the car with her boyfriend who had some weed on him. Been in there for 14 months. Innocent. I tell you, innocent.
They were all cheering and being happy for me and hugging me because I was getting to go free. People we weren't. They were happy for me. Why? Some of them facing prison time. Yeah, they were happy for me. So, devil, you lose.
The Shawshank Redemption is an awesome story, bro. He goes in for probably a crime that most people could see happening. Like, he caught his wife with another man, and the other man ends up dead, and so does his wife. So he gets put in there. He makes his way through jail. He lives that life, blah, 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 and ends up getting all the way out using the warden's own shit against him, basically. They give him that tiny rock hammer and perseverance. He's able to chip a whole tunnel with that little bitty rock hammer.
You lose, devil.
And he used smut to cover the tunnel, which was the warden. It's got a bunch of hidden stuff in it. It was the warden's, like, big thing was he didn't allow, like, smut and pinup girls and shit. That's what was covering his tunnel. You lose, devil.
Never been more blessed.
You lose.
My complete room of complete.
Yeah, he started fighting with these like ginger soulless bastards in jail. They called them the sisters. They were like the guys that were in like the homoerotic stuff. They called them the sisters.
Facing prison time.
And they end up cornering him one night or one time in like his job or whatever, and they use a broomstick to violate him. And the narrator, which is the black guy or whatever, he's like, I wish I could say Andy fought the good fight. I wish I could say it. And then it just like fades to black of them getting raped with a broomstick.
Yeah, they were happy for me. So, devil, you lose. You lose, devil. I've never been more blessed.
You lose, devil. Never been more blessed.
Complete room of complete strangers than I have been.
Do you think she's convinced that she's never been more blessed? Or do you think she just keeps saying it, trying to justify it? She's just trying to in her own head, like she's bawling her fucking eyes out. And she's like, if I keep saying it enough, I'll feel like I've never been more blessed.
These 3 days, devil, you lose. No matter what happens, you have lost. And God has won. In my case, in the world, God has won. And God's people will be free.
That's right. God's people can't even be put in jail. They will be free. You're going to learn today.
I know y'all were worried about me, but I couldn't have been in a better place. I really couldn't. And let me just tell you, the storms that came through that place when we were there, that shook the buildings that we were in, lightning and thunder. I mean, and we're talking a prison here. And I just thought the whole time I was thinking about the story where the earthquake came and the prison doors opened. And that's all I could think of. I was like, and I told Shelby, I said, when I was talking to her about that, I said, these are Christ times, that it's not time to be scared.
Christ
I
times.
said, it's time to be serious, to get things right. I said, because it's close. So we don't know when. I said, but it's close.
Yeah, she's talking about, I think, Paul and Silas, maybe. It's in Acts. Paul and Silas were arrested, and they start praying and singing like hymnals to God or whatever, and an earthquake happens, and it opens the jail doors end up opening. There's even a part about a guard in it. Like maybe the guard was asleep and he like panicked when he woke up because he saw that all the jail cells were open. And he thought they had escaped. So he pulls out his sword to go like hunt them down or kill them or whatever. Or no, he pulls out his sword because he's going to kill himself because he would be held liable for the prisoners escaping. And then Paul stops him and says, no, you don't have to do that. Whatever. That's the story. I think it's in Acts, maybe.
And I said, y'all don't belong here. Y'all don't belong in here. The real evil is walking the freaking streets. The real evil is in our government.
They end up saving that guy. So the jailer ends up letting him out, and he says, like, what do I have to do to be saved? And they tell him, and whatever. Something like that.
Y'all don't belong here. The child sacrificers, the adrenochrome users, those who molest children, they are who belong here.
Child sacrificers, adrenochrome users, child molesters, they belong in jail. Not Jenny, whose only crime was being innocent of her boyfriend's possession. I don't understand how Shelly is a full-grown ass adult and she doesn't understand that everybody in jail tells everybody else they're innocent.
Not y'all. So, I am blessed beyond measure by my Heavenly Father. Blessed and highly favored. What I put on my avatar the very first time I opened the Telegram. Because
She was in for a couple days total, but the whole first part of her story was from the first day.
Blessed. We all are blessed and highly favored. If you're evil, no, you're not. But God's children are blessed and highly favored. No matter what we go through, we are blessed. Because you don't know who's got it worse. You don't know what these kids have gone through. I don't know. But I know it's not a time to be quiet. I know it's not a time to be silent anymore. Silent no more. Save our Q. That is the motto. Silent no more. Save our Q. Save our children Q. God has raised up Davids. God's raised up Esther's. I'm not the only one out there fighting, no. There's a lot of people fighting. Y'all are fighting. We're all Esther's. We're all Davids. I can't be silent anymore. I couldn't be silent anymore. Too much has happened. Too many people have been hurt.
Great. This gave us a more emboldened Shelly. Awesome.
I couldn't stay silent anymore. And I believe God.
I wonder why they didn't pursue her charges for terroristic threats. She says they're dismissed. She even showed the piece of paperwork that just said dismissed on it.
God and his army are rising up, have been rising up, have been taking down evil in the shadows. But I believe it's all about to come out. It's all over. Evil, you're finished. God is my avenger. No judge, no prosecutor. God is my defender. He will avenge me. You see? What evil intended for bad, God made good. He was all in it. Evil.
I believe you.
God has won.
You got to tell me twice.
One more part that I missed.
Okay.
Today, Jenny showed me pictures of her children. And because people had sent her, she doesn't have a physical picture. It's on email.
Jenny, who's been in there for 14 months only because she's innocent, and her her fucking her boyfriend had possession. She doesn't have custody of either of her kids either. Imagine.
Her pride and joy, 5 of them. 5.
Oh my God, 5 kids. I'm sorry. I thought she had 2. No, that was the story about the girl and her brother. 5 kids. She was arrested because she's innocent, and her boyfriend had a little pot on him, and they charged them all. For 14 months, she's been in jail. 14 months. And she's got 5 kids and not custody of any of them.
The youngest one, I think, is 3. The oldest one is 12, 13, something like that. She's been in prison in jail for 14 freaking months. Those kids have been without their mother for 14 freaking months, okay?
She's having them every other year.
And then we'll tell you why. And we'll tell you why. And she's got a story to tell, but I want y'all to hear this because it needs to be told. I don't know her whole story about her kids, how she got, it doesn't matter. She has 5 kids.
Doesn't
She's
matter.
in protection from an abusive relationship.
Doesn't matter how, guys.
Placed there by Child Protective Services or whatever, the battered women, whatever it was. She was placed in this place, this apartment, to get her away from this person. At the time, she may have just had the 3 kids when she first got moved there. Anyway, she had the 2 others. Regardless of the fact whether she needed them or not, she has them. She had them. She didn't abort them. She had them. Something to be said about that. She wasn't an addict. She wasn't anything. She was getting away from an abusive relationship. Now, yeah, mind you, she probably could have told me things, and I'm going off the story she told. But here's the difference. I know her kids. I know her kids. And I'll tell you why. So, I knew when she showed me the picture, I said, I know these kids from somewhere. I just don't know where. And they were older, And
Shelly knows them.
So
knows her kids.
Anyway, she was placed there. She now has 5 kids, single mom, trying to raise 5 kids, living off of what little bit of money, she was getting from whatever, welfare, I don't know, whatever it is, She was working at Wendy's because she needed to help make things meet, to fill the gaps. No, get granted, I'm listening to her story. I don't know, she had any reason to lie to me. She's sitting in prison. Why she got any reason to lie to me, right? And so, she's working at Wendy's. Another lady in the building would help watch her kids while she worked. And so she would work. I don't know if she worked double shifts. I don't know how she worked. I don't know. All I know is that she stayed up for like 5 days straight because she said she was just trying to provide for her family. And so she would take these pills or whatever to help her to stay up. I mean, why?
So she would stay up because she worked at Wendy's, and someone that lived in her building would babysit her kids while she was at Wendy's to support her kids at her 24 hours Wendy shift. She would take pills, and she stayed up for 5 fucking days off these pills. The bitch is doing meth and deserved to lose every fucking one of her kids. If you've got 5 kids and you're doing meth, those kids don't need to be there, Shelly. No one needs to stay up 5 days to work at Wendy's. Not a single person needs to stay up 5 days to work a shift at Wendy's. And she had a free babysitter. Not happening. You were outside your mind.
She had 5 kids. She had no reason to do this. There was nobody to watch her kids. She was being protected from the person who was trying to harm her and them.
Oh. She's being protected.
So,
got it.
She said that defects or whatever was involved or, whatever. And somehow, some way, some...
DPS. What she's saying.
And this particular time, apparently, she got reported on. So the kids wound up, thankfully, did not go into the system because we know the system is corrupt, right? She was at least trying to provide for her family.
Thank God they didn't go into the system.
So,
I was terrified.
Anyway, politics comes in, takes her kids. 3 of them go to her sisters, thankfully, and the other 2 go to another family member, so they're not in the system. And she gets sent to jail. But in her story, somehow, I mentioned my church name. Oh, she was at Pine Ridge. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but she was at an apartment building that our church went to and did
a real apartment, Shelly?
Like our Bible clubs.
Amazing.
Where we play games and, just show Jesus' love to them. They just they want some happiness in their life, They just want happiness. And in that, we would go and pick those children up at those apartment complexes and others around the area for Vacation Bible School. Those kids, her kids, went to my church. They got saved at my church. They were baptized at my church. Those 3 boys, they know me. They know Shelly. They know the love of Jesus was shown to them through Shelly. They know that. They know that My daughter was the vacation Bible school director, leader, who sang the songs, who they wouldn't miss that bus ride for nothing. Nothing. They got themselves ready. They jumped on that bus.
I think she's probably misremembering all this.
They were responsible themselves, little bitty kids. And she was there sometimes sleeping,
This is all based on she knew the apartment complex and she saw a picture of these kids like much older, and the woman's like, yeah, they used to go to your church. Sure, yeah. Can I have your tray? Like same shit over and over. Can I have your tray? Is that all right?
No. She was there taking care of the younger two that's going to go to church with those three boys. They just wanted to go where people would show them love. That's the church that I was a part of. Those that love those kids. I don't know what church is there now. Because they certainly aren't acting the way that they acted to those kids and to this mama. Because we poured our heart out to her and her kids. We met her needs when they needed to be met. And she's like, oh my gosh, my kids go to that church. They went to that church until the freaking police broke that up and sent them separate ways. They would still be at that church if it wasn't for the police. If we as a society hadn't let that family down, if we had not let those kids down, if we would have helped that mama in need more, we helped all we could. And yes, there are responsibilities that she has to be responsible for. But y'all, what are the coincidences of everything I told y'all tonight? What are the coincidences that just happened just by chance? No, none of it. Not one thing. I was supposed to be there. At that moment. At that appointed time.
Am I supposed to be there?
In that cell block.
That's amazing.
In this time. Knowing those kids. Knowing I never met her. I met the boys. I never met her. Some of the people driving the bus and such. Todd was one of them. Met her. Another church bus driver, Adam, he corresponded with her mostly because it was just better if she contacted one person rather than 3 or 4 different people, about the boys. But not just Vacation Bible School. Those boys started going to church there every Sunday. Every Sunday.
They loved it.
Apartment complex.
They loved it.
Went to church there every Sunday. Wouldn't miss it. They got themselves ready. I heard that out of Jenny's mouth herself. She said they wouldn't miss it. She said they loved it. They loved it. But yet, the devil tried to take and tear that apart. And he did a good dang job of it, Those babies need our prayers because they're upset with their mom. Because they think that she's abandoned them. And I'm sure she's made mistakes. We all made them.
She has.
Those babies need her.
She did abandon them for meth.
She's been there 14 months. And I told her, I said, you're clean. 14 months clean. I said, when you walk out of here.
She's not clean. There's meth in prisons. There's drug. She abandoned them. Yes. And she's not clean.
Those kids better be first. And I really think she was just trying to make ends meet. She wasn't an addict. When Positive said, sometimes situations and circumstances, sometimes you have to do things you have to do just to survive. Does it make it right? No. But yet you have people sucking literally the life out of people. All for what? Monetary gain? All for this world? You can have it. I don't want a thing this world offers. I want what God has promised me. Forget the money. You know why Positive got so mad about the money? It's because that's what has been corrupt. Money is the root of all evil.
They accuse Shelly of stealing money, by the way.
Just go take me to the kids. That's all I want. That's all I've prayed for this entire time. Well, he has taken me there in so many ways I can't even count. Kids of all ages. But lo and behold, in the jail cell, for 3 days, I was with God's people that were just made bad choices. They weren't bad people. They just made bad choices. Be it hard on their luck. The devil's playground, drug addiction, getting people, in vulnerable situations. I don't think anybody, when you're a little kid, I don't think anybody grows up and says when they grow up they want to be a drug addict. I don't think anybody says they want to grow up and be an alcoholic. I don't think anybody grows up and want to live on the streets. That's not what God intended. But yet the richer just keep getting richer. Those who think they're above the law. Those who harm other people. Your day's coming. It's coming. It is coming. So thank you. Thank you for arresting me. Thank you.
Thank you for arresting me.
Because I am blessed. Blessed to have met some amazing, amazing people. I'm not sad. I am blessed. And highly favored by my Heavenly Father, whom I serve.
And highly favored. Got it.
On the solid rock on which I stand, although the ground is sinking sand, Jesus Christ is that solid rock. I just want to thank y'all for your prayers and your concerns and standing beside me. When I got out, I had my mom, my aunt, and two of my mom's friends that was waiting there as I walked out those doors. And there were many people that I have to thank for helping that transpire, you know, to be able to walk out those doors. And y'all, as soon as I walked out the doors into the lobby of where they were standing, the biggest storm came across, raining really, really hard.
Okay. Big storm. Got it.
No thunder or lightning. It didn't last very long. And then the skies parted and the sun came out and shined. And I know that was a message too. I know that was, you know, this storm shall pass. And we were, you know, hadn't ate anything really. I mean, I nibbled on stuff along the way, and of course I gobbled down, you know, a few of those wet noodles. And I didn't want to be too hoggy, you know, and can I have another pack of them wet noodles? No, I didn't do that. I just, if they offered it, I said, well, I'll just have a couple bites. You know, I don't eat very much. That was good. You know, I had that gastric sleeve surgery, so, you know, I can make one meal turn into 4 meals if I had to, you know. Right? So probably a wet noodles bag, I could probably get 3 meals out of it. So that's, you know, it's frugal, you know. I could survive in there. Oh, and by the way, you know, let me just tell you, Jennifer, she has no place to go. So that is her home. She was supposed to, I don't know, she was on probation, so she had to meet with a probation officer. It was a probation violation because she didn't meet. And so she was just going from one place to the other, right? And so she said, you know, she said, I don't like being here. She said, I don't like the food. I don't like how they treat you. But she said, I know where else to go. She didn't want to, you know, get caught, you know, for the probation violation, but she said, you know, I was just kind of relieved. She said, no, I'm going to have to serve time because of it. She said, but, you know, I'm tired of running, you know.
So she was on probation too, and she hasn't been violated, but they'll find out she's in jail. She'll violate.
To the society, you know. And so, I know good things are coming. And it's people like that, you know, they need help. They need really, really, really good help. Not somebody to try to take advantage of them, not somebody to not care about them, but help. Love. I don't know what her circumstances are. I don't know any of the adults other than Tessa's circumstances being born into addiction. She was willing to share that. But I know there are others. It's a vicious cycle. So we have to do our part. They're relying on family. They're relying on friends for their next meal because let me just tell you, that's not food they're eating. It's not food that we were eating.
Not real food. Nope.
There was some
not
macaroni and
food.
cheese one day.
I love ramen. That's real food.
Like grainy or something. It was terrible. I mean, I can eat macaroni and cheese, but yet Jennifer, it was like a delicacy for her. Like she was eating her food, my food. Anybody else that donated, would offer it, she would take it.
That's Mariah's favorite macaroni and cheese is the one that's like She used to love it from this restaurant that was like mixed up with powder or come canned or whatever. God, she loved it. And it always felt to me like it had like fucking sand in it. It's so disgusting. Where's that macaroni you liked, Fry? She keeps changing back and forth. Jenny and Shelby are the two names. Jenny and Shelby.
As I was leaving, gosh, I wish I could remember her name. I think it might be Lindsay. Lord, you know her name. She came up to me as I was leaving. Everybody was giving me a hug. And, I felt really guilty almost, leaving. But she came up to me and she hugged me and she said, she said, my anxiety's been really, really bad. She said, when you came in here on Friday and you prayed with us, she said, when you just entered the room, she said, my anxiety went away. And she was one of the ones that was crying really bad when I was praying. I didn't ask her to tell me that. I'm not saying it to be prideful, I'm not. But they're hungry and thirsty, and the only thirst quencher is Jesus Christ. The love of Jesus Christ. Coming through me, coming through you. There are many people out there. That's what they're hungry for. That's what they're searching for. I'm just a nobody. Trying to tell everybody about somebody who saved my soul. That song, the very song that I played the day that Kelly and I was the last day that I was with her. That song.
Last day. That was it.
Might as well be
The
my
last
motto.
one.
Because that should be all of our motto. We're just a nobody trying to tell
Just
everybody
a nobody.
about somebody who saved our soul. That's what they're hungry for.
Amazing.
That's what they've searched for. That's what they are searching for, y'all. That.
Oh my
is
God,
what
it's
it is.
almost 2 a.m. I gotta
That is
go.
what the devil has tried to take it from us. Taking it out of our schools, taking them out of our government, taking them out of our, anything and everything. Taking them out of everything. Taking them out of our homes, breaking up our homes by what? By drug addiction, by divorce, by, just countless. I mean, the list is just goes on and on. That is why we're here. What part of biblical do you not understand?
Biblically, Doug had it right.
It's not really a question anymore.
Hasn't it
It's a
though?
statement.
I'll tell you, I'm going to show you something. Hold on just a second.
I'll just take it.
So I was
Day by
trying
day.
to see if I could get
Hour by hour. Minute by minute.
a new phone.
Because I know God.
Mine's fucking up right now.
God's going to flip the tables. Because he's pretty pissed off. Some violent storms came through as I was in, where you want to call it the dungeon, if you want to call it in the belly of the whale. If that's what I was. If I was in the earth, it was underground. So I was in the earth for 3 days.
In the earth for 3 days.
I was underground for 3 freaking days, y'all.
Who else was buried for 3 days? Who else was buried for 3 days? Who? Who's she trying to compare herself to here? And she rose again. Roll the stone away.
I never left underground for 3 days. I know God will be with me on Wednesday and throughout whatever length of time that need to be. And I'm not worried. I'm not afraid. I believe the dominoes already started to fall. I believe the ball is rolling. However you want to put it. Dominoes, ball, whatever. Nothing can stop what is coming. Yeah. Couldn't be more the truth than it is. Jesus is coming. Are you ready? So I ask you like I asked Jenny. Do you know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior?
Do you
Maybe
know,
you know.
Jenny?
Maybe you.
Do you know?
Set him on a shelf. Maybe you kind of tucked him away. Only called on him when you don't want to bother him with the small things. He wants a relationship. He don't want you in church. In the fact that he wants a relationship, first and foremost. That's a church building. He's not there. He's in you.
He's not in the
If you've asked
building.
him to come into your heart and save you, turn your life over to him.
All right, I'm gonna skip ahead some. There's more little tidbits of minutia in here, but it's 2 a.m. already.
Of the air. For we fight not against flesh and blood.
I'll be right back.
And we have to be like Jesus, and we have to say, forgive them, for they know not what they do. We have to thank God that our eyes have been opened. And be blessed to be in this moment in time. To fight the good fight. We will finish the race. And God will be victorious. He is. He has already won. That's all I got. Until God gives me something else, but really that's all I have. Anybody has anything else? I mean, we can open up mics or whatever. Y'all got something y'all want to say? I'm sorry that, well, I'm not sorry, because if I was sorry I was not here, then I would be sorry that I was not there. No. I'm glad I was where I was at. I had great admins to help lead the charge of keeping things in order, so I appreciate y'all stepping up to the plate. And so being there for me, supporting me, and my mom, my mom's just, she knows this is biblical. She knows that it's what she's been
Praise the Lord. Thank you for kick. Sorry.
There's a fight. She know how.
I'm gonna skip around some.
I think she's getting the grasp of it right now.
Because we gotta go.
They believe me. My mom and my aunt believe me now.
My mom and my aunt believe me now. No, they don't.
Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Lead of.
They start talking, like chat calls in and starts talking.
First of all, I just want to say, the story is just
amazing.
I'm so touched by it, honestly, and I see God moving. Through
amazing.
Just there's so much. I can just see his signs and wonders everywhere. So thank you for sharing that.
That's right,
It really touched
legend.
me.
You got
But
it.
also, the past couple of weeks, this has been on my heart, and I feel like I need to share it with you now. So, do you remember? I know you remember, but I'm here to recall it for you. The phone call. I think it was the very last phone call that Positive made to you. You were in.
Certainly have a lot of defenders and just good friends.
I think the most interesting
Yes, I do.
part of this whole stream occurs right at the end, and it gets cut off. So listen to this.
So I've got this little reminder in the back of my mind how positive it says. Family pretending to be family. I think I know what he was talking about. So you can be related. You be in a relation by blood, and that's important. I get that. But then there's a friend that's closer to you than a brother. And unless you've ever experienced it, you wouldn't know that. But I have, and I do. And I know what he was talking about when he said it, when he spoke those words. It looks like you have Aaron Lampy on. Hello, Aaron.
Good evening. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Well, not bad. Had some questions to ask, but I don't know if
Shelly has her own following now. That's who she's talking to. Is all of her following in a Telegram channel called the Remnant Room.
this is the arena to ask them.
Here we go. Listen.
I do live in Minnesota, and I know of the track, Millville track.
They stop recording in the middle of this question.
One of the partners that own the track, and I've been trying to do some investigation on my side, and it's been extremely hush-hush. And I don't know if this is the place to discuss it or if it's something that should be a private conversation.
No, absolutely. I mean, I'm about seeking the truth, and that's where
So this is about Neg48's death of the track and the owner of the track. Some type of information coming in. They quit recording. Listen.
intend on keeping it going. So, yeah, what information do you have? I would love to hear it.
Well, my understanding is there was never an investigation of where negative.
That's where it ends. That's kind of suspicious, right? My understanding is there was never an investigate. That's kind of suspicious, right? It's 3 hours. It's not like it just cut off at 4 hours either. It's 3 hours, 52 minutes, and 47 seconds. Kind of suspicious, huh? I wanted to hear that part. That was probably the most interesting part of the whole thing. But either way, that's Shelly's time in jail. Congratulations to Shelly. Never been more blessed. Never been more blessed, Shelly, in the Fulton County Prison. The Fulton County Prison Blues. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for hanging out on Kick. I know this is different. I know it's strange. Thank you to the 28 people who have subscribed over the last couple of days. I greatly appreciate that. We're gonna keep pushing through this weekend. I've already got an average of 75 viewers. That's checked. 20 subscribers. That's checked. I need to stream for 12 days in a month. I need to put 30 hours in a month and get 300 unique chatters within a month. That might be the hardest one, is the 300 unique chatters, because usually on each platform I average in between 100 and 200, but I need 300 unique chatters. So that's people that have never, in 30 days, they all have to have 300 new people chat. So we'll see what we can work out with that, but that'll qualify me to be to be verified, which is kind of like partner, and I can send them an email. So thank you guys for joining us. Tomorrow's Mariah's birthday, but she said she's gonna she got to work tomorrow, and then she's gonna rest. So she told me to come in and stream. I will be on with Tony tomorrow on YouTube. I might stream it over here. He doesn't have a Kick, so I might stream the show over to Kick and see how that works for his show, the Ripcast, for an hour, and then I'll be on my own show right here. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see everybody on the next one. Don't do anything Shelly would do. And also, please keep Jennifer/Shelby/Just Innocent for 14 months of possession. But also, she was taking meth pills to stay awake for 5 days to work her job as a single mother at Wendy's with free childcare, because that's the only way she could survive. Have a good night, everybody. Support the stream while we're offline at coldbeer.fund. Send me some money! Jesus Christ. What I got to do around here, bag? Have a good one, guys.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the forking balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the forking balls.
Having black out the camera.
Okay, Scott. Here we go. I think I started some shit.
There we go, baby.
Get the place in the best. You know that stage is set.
That's so you don't see Mariah crawl out from under my desk. She's been pretending like she's been home the whole time.
Started some shit. Piss 'em off. It's about to get lit. Get the place in the best. You know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6-inch.
If I can't get the 300 unique chatters, I'm gonna tell you, some of you guys are gonna have to make multiple accounts. Okay, I'll be honest with you.
To profit off of gossip, worshiping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit, swinging fucking me.
Tomorrow we'll probably play. Intel Lady makes Mariah a video every year on her birthday. If she'll send it to me, I'll probably play it tomorrow. Oh, she might have already sent it to me.
Baby, lizard people, alien sex. What's next?
300 unique chatters in a month.
A retard in a vest climbing up 5G towers.
Then I can email them and say, verify me, bitch. Papa needs all the money. How much? All.
You know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss 'em off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped it to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself.
I've been enjoying Kick. I don't know about you guys, but I've enjoyed it so far.
Trump in between, put on a light coat of baby oil and saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Wait. Stop. What? I'll get my phone.
The replay will be up. You can watch replays here too. I don't know if you guys know that. Just go to videos. Go to my page. Go to videos. It'll say recent broadcasts. The last 2 replays are on there. You can also clip stuff apparently, or maybe that's me that I'm supposed to clip it. I'm not sure. I got panels, so like the donation panel that you can just click on it. Yeah, it's like a copy of Twitch basically. And I just got my animation software to work there, so I can add back in probably the keywords like when you say Phildo or whatever. Or phony, I think was the one.
On the ropes, trying to ram it down his throat.
But I got to get verified before I can get the donations, I believe.
It's all over, hands on his shoulders, they ringing his bell. You got fraud news network doing no damn research.
And remember, Kick's still in beta, so it ought to be getting better, I guess.
All this nonsense on my conscience, it's hard to sleep at night.
It's already gotten quite a bit better as far as the
These parasites, these leeches,
as far as the app's concerned.
teaching all you fucking cretins about baby eating yeast.
Oh, this is better for you than Twitch, is what you're saying?
Bullshit, Will Bird, motherfucker.
See, Zach.
You're busting the grifts. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the bets, you know that stage is set. You better
It says they're going to have a like a donation amount called
some shit. Piss them off,
I swear I thought it said that it was called Kicks, I guess, like bits, but Kicks. But I don't see that on any of these other streamers yet.
That's because you're a pussy. You're
Fucking Fousey Tube is streaming.
your glasses in your mother's basement, and I won't even give out.
Is there a like button? No.
really
Just the share. And they do measure how many times my video gets shared. I know there's not a like on Twitch either, but they do keep up with how many times it's shared the same way that like YouTube will keep up with how many it's shared, just so you know. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good night, everybody. Love you. See you. Bye. Happy birthday to my wife, my beautiful wife, Miranda. Have a good night.